The bats and baseballs have returned to D1 Media Pro this year in the state of New Jersey. Verona and West Orange in an SEC Liberty Division battle. Next, right here on the NFHS Network.
He's going to take it himself for a championship! A double play wins it for Frazier!
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch! The Coyotes on touchdown!
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it! The championship!
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to West Orange, New Jersey. My name is Ryan Lowy. Today we have a great game coming up for you right here in West Orange, as they will be hosting the Verona Hillbillies, two teams last year that had a winning record in the second division of baseball in the Super Essex Conference. West Orange, a very strong record, including only 9 losses to their name, as well as over 10 wins. And on the other side, Verona were just a tad bit shy of winning their division. They had a record of 15-8 behind a dominant 18-8 squad within Caldwell that elected to stay in the Liberty Division. So a very similar division this year. The only difference is Glen Ridge has switched with the struggling Nork Academy squad that in 21 contests last year only won 4 games. So these are two teams that took each other on last year, and Verona was more successful in the first appearance of that one. And this year they're going to get each other started this regular season on this beautiful Friday opening day afternoon, Alex, with a little wind.
A little bit of wind, Ryan, but you know, we talked to Coach Mulligan before the game. He was telling us he's getting his guys ready for conditions such as this, getting the jugs machine going yesterday, where it was pretty windy as well. So I think both teams are going to be ready for today's windy game. So we mentioned talking to Coach Blumpkin. His big thing for coming into the first game of this season was to maintain a steady mindset. Obviously in baseball, to give them momentum, you have a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but he wants his guys to maintain cool, calm, and collected, regardless of if they're up 10 or down 10. His squad, they did fall short a couple times last season, losing in the first round of the Greater Newark tournament, and then in the sectional tournament they lost to Montclair. However, they did have a pretty good season last year. They did not lose more than 2 games in a row at any point throughout the season. And actually in their last meeting against Verona, they won 11-3. The only thing, however, that these Mountaineers might struggle with is losing their 2 best pitchers in Aiden Healy and Owen Murphy, who both graduated last season. Murphy also led the team in hits, and he was second in runs batted in, triples, and home runs last season. Now on the other side of things, let's take a look at the Verona Hillbillies, who finished 3rd in the Liberty Division. They lost in the quarterfinal of the Greater Newark tournament, and they lost in the semis of the sectional tournament. However, they did not lose back-to-back games at all last season. As I mentioned before, they did drop the last game against West Orange, and they also lost their 2 best pitchers in Pierce Coppola, whose brother is on the roster today, and Kyle McCaffrey. They also lost Tom Radigan, again, whose brother will be playing today. He led the team in all the major categories: runs, hits, RBIs, doubles, triples, home runs, walks, and stolen bases. Prior to the game, we talked to one of the assistant coaches over at Verona, and he said that their pitching looks really good, and they wanted to pitch for contact. They want to get a lot of ground balls, make sure that their defense behind their pitchers stays strong. And the same thing on the other side of things, they want their batters to put balls in play, drive up the pitch count of the opposing pitchers. Speaking of pitching, we have Sean Mulligan going today for the Hillbillies. He's starting on the bump. He's a senior who also plays third base. Last season, he had 20 hits and 17 runs. For the Mountaineers, starting on the mound will be Riley Moses, who we saw so much of in West Orange's exhibition matchup against Livingston just a week ago.
Alex, we have a great game coming up. One thing to note for both of these teams coming into a season where they will play roughly 20 regular season games, excluding a county tournament entrance into the Greater Newark tournament, and then, of course, a sectional appearance, which if they play well can turn into a group tournament appearance. We also have to remember the fact that both of these teams have lost a lot of talent. As you said earlier, specifically for Verona, a carrier of their team, I guess you could say, on the mound, who just did a phenomenal job. Pierce Coppola, he's currently dominating down in Florida for the University of Florida, so keep a keen eye on him as the sun comes out here in West Orange. It is really hard to see now because that sun is just beating right down on that baseball diamond, that beautiful turf baseball diamond that was not affected by the rain. We saw some opening day games that had to move locations or even get rescheduled to this weekend, as there's a dry schedule for this weekend due to the rain this morning. But in West Orange, you can almost feel like it never rained, and you can almost feel like we never just went through a windstorm because it is pumping with sun just this second. That is great news for us.
Almost perfect timing, Ryan, as we were just moments away from the first pitch of the season here on D1 Media Pro and FHS Network here at the beautiful turf field, as you mentioned, West Orange, New Jersey. It's going to be a fun one, Ryan. Two really good teams that love to compete, that finished pretty close to each other in the standings last season, actually, second and third in the SEC respectively, excuse me. Both teams within a game of each other. We saw West Orange finish 14-9 and Verona 15-8, both dropping 3 games within their division. West Orange winning 9, Verona 8. So these teams are very even, as you mentioned, Ryan, and it's going to shape up to be a very good one today.
Yeah, so Verona last year on paper, the better team. However, divisional-wise, West Orange, the better team. West Orange placed in second. Both teams fell back to Caldwell, a team that declined entrance into the toughest division of the Super Essex Conference, which covers all Essex County athletics. And they decided that they will not swap with the last place Livingston Lancers, who made a surprise appearance in the sectional finals last year, which is coincidentally the same group as West Orange and the same group as Montclair as well. So we're just moments away from the first pitch. And just a reminder, just across the street, West Orange softball is getting themselves underway this season. And then, of course, Verona softball as well getting themselves underway today. They are going to be hosting Mount St. Dominic's Academy. And then, of course, for West Orange softball last year, a very strong season bouncing off of a COVID-shortened season. They will be hosting Bloomfield on that beautiful new turf field across the street. Last year they had to play on the soccer field and the neighboring elementary school across the street. Now they have their own softball field, just as beautiful as this great baseball field. And Alex, the dimension of this baseball field, very interesting. We have a nice fence covering the entire infield, excuse me, not the infield, the in-play area.
Yeah, it's nice, and we see something that we didn't see in their preseason matchup against Livingston. We have what seems to be a Hall of Fame commemoration board as we see the Verona team clapping it up. Coach Blumpkin and Coach Fallon just returned to their respective dugouts, and we are just moments away from first pitch here. And as I mentioned, yeah, so we have many of the former West Orange High School student athletes featured on the right field wall.
And Alex, that brings me to a good story too. Last year, you could actually catch on the on-demand function. Prior to, I'd say this was a long, long time ago, well before our day broadcasting West Orange athletics, in which I started last year. You're getting your feet wet this year. Last year, they actually had a ceremony for what happened 20, 25 years ago. Mountain High School used to be this campus, and what is now Seton Hall Preparatory School, who prior to this were actually in Madison, they replaced the original West Orange High School. They had an honorary baseball night for them on back-to-back nights here at the great West Orange High School baseball field. So you can catch both those games on the on-demand function. Both resulted in close one-run differences of West Orange victory. I was on the call for the Friday night event, the first one that honored Mountain High, where they were able to come back and take down Newark Academy. A great interview I had with former head coach of West Orange, now athletic director Stefan Zakella, as Coach Tim Blumpkin is now running this West Orange squad. Last year he was the JV coach. He's been with the program for 7 years, Alex, as West Orange takes the field for the first time this regular season on April Fools. But I did not fool you. I wasn't lying.
We do not have any tricks played just yet, Ryan. We'll see how the day goes, but you mentioned West Orange taking the field. We mentioned Riley Moses takes the bump. He is pitching to Chase Gardrillo. Mikey Casellas, who played extremely well in the scrimmage we called just last week. He will be playing first. Curtis Patel and Eli Cohen, second and third base. Matt Bove will flash the leather at short, and left to right, Jason Jackson, Noah Stennett, and Amir Stewart will be your Mountaineers outfield.
So we are just moments away from first pitch, a scheduled 4 o'clock start here in West Orange. It is 3:55. The sun is out. The wind has disappeared. The possible rain, maybe a couple drops, but not bad. Nothing that this turf couldn't handle. It's taking on some. We're hoping to possibly see a couple balls go over the fence today, as we have some bright bats shining, Alex.
We do. I want to feature the duo up for Verona. We have Ryan Radigan, who is catching for Verona. He will be leading off, followed by the pitcher, Sean Mulligan, and then center fielder Chris Baker, your 1, 2, 3 hitters for the Hillbillies. I want to take a second to appreciate Sean Mulligan, who's the senior who can do it all. Last year, in his junior year, he was second on the team in runs, hits, and he also took one. He got hit by a pitch as well, second on the team in that category as well. Knocked in 17, got it 20 times. So he's looking to continue and further his success in his senior season, Ryan.
Alex, again, So excited to be back covering West Orange baseball this year. Their next home game will be next Friday. They're going on a 3-game or 4-game stretch after this, one of the two. As we're getting ready to play baseball. As you said, Alex, they have a good pitcher on the mound today. Give us a little bit more of a preview.
Riley Moses, who we saw when we were here last year, didn't get pitching time last year. He didn't have as much exposure, but we can see he's starting opening day. That's got to mean something, Ryan. And I'm excited to see how he does, especially in the beginning of the season. It's a little bit of a chillier day, the wind's going. Not ideal conditions for pitching, but it's getting a little better as the sun is coming out. But this Verona lineup has such a variety of bats going, so I'm excited for Moses, and I'm curious to see how he does here as we get ready for first pitch.
So Moses is on the bump, and hitting first for Verona, Ryan Radigan, as you said, doing the dirty work behind the plate as he's shaking the hand of fellow catcher Chance Gargiulo. We are getting ready for baseball. Again, we covered a preseason game for West Orange this year. It was I don't really know how to say win or loss because Livingston almost came back, but then they kind of shut down the inning.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic, right?
It was indeed. But yeah, we covered their preseason game. That's available on demand. But all regular season games that are live and about to be on demand start now. As the wind comes in, the umps are ready. West Orange is ready. Verona is ready. And as Moses winds and deals, we play baseball here on April Fools. As the first pitch is in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Alex, thank you for joining me today.
That's a pleasure as always, Ryan.
So the 0-1 count now to Ryan Radigan. He's doing the dirty work behind the plate today, and he's doing the dirty work first to take on Riley Moses as this pitch is grounded into the hole for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for the Verona Hillbillies as Ryan Radigan rounds first base.
That was just a nice piece of hitting right up the middle. He got that off the barrel of the bat, sent it right back towards Moses, and that one makes its way easily through the gap between second and short, as we now see a pinch runner come on for the catcher Radigan.
So the pinch runner will now step in, and so catcher turns pitcher as Sean Mulligan on the bump today will also be the second to contest in the righty batter's box.
That is pinch runner Liam Frey, Ryan.
So Liam Frey, a very small lead, easy to get back, which means Moses will have no choice but to pitch as the first pitch. Check swing, that'll stay foul down the third base side. And the count is 0-1. Again, Alex, we're seeing spurts of wind, but really just a nice day. I might have to go get some sunglasses from my car. It is beautiful, and as I say it, the wind picks up, and there go my sheets of paper.
Well, that's going to be a fun cleanup, but no, the sun is out. It's getting a little bit warmer. That initial chill that we had is kind of going away, and it's getting a little bit better for baseball.
The 0-1. Moses will deal. And that'll be a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Again, there's nothing better than a nice little sunlight on opening day. Major League Baseball delayed. We'll get started on the 7th with a full 162-game season. Each team looking to play at least 20 games, excluding county and state tournaments, which they will participate in here in the state of New Jersey at the high school level. Obviously, as well, D1 through 3 college baseball is underway as Moses will step off and fake checking the pinch runner, Frey.
And it was almost like a choir, Ryan, the way the Hillbillies dugout yelled back simultaneously. Gotta love the chatter early on here.
So a long wait for Moses as he will deal. Swung on and missed. Strikeout and first out of the game recorded in favor of West Orange. So Frey will stay at first, and the pitcher himself, Sean Mulligan, goes down on strikes. And this will now bring up Chris Baker, the center fielder. Baker, a runner on first base with one away. Moses checks his runner. A long stare down we have. Frey getting comfortable, and here's the pitch. In there, called strike. The consistency from Moses so far is applaudable. He might have given up a hit first at bat, but he's doing quite the job.
You see Frey almost playing mind games with Moses over there at first base. He's taking little jab steps a little bit further off the base, and he's taking a tremendous secondary lead as well.
And they're going to check him, and he's in safe standing. Again, 2 umpires today, the default at the high school regular season level. One umpire behind the plate and one in the field. So the count is 0-1 with one away. Frey getting comfortable on the base paths. Again, still trying to build off some rust for both teams. He will go, and the pitch is bobbled and called a strike. So up sliding is Frey, but the count will move to 0-2. So the count is 0-2.
Now we see Baker taking a moment. Now he steps back into the box.
So now there's a runner on second in scoring position. The 0-2 count. Moses. Long stare down, winds and deals, and this pitch grounded to first. That'll move the runner over as the first baseman will step on the bag. And there's a good effort from Mikey Cassels, but giving credit for moving over the runner is Chris Baker. So this will bring up Ben Mackey, the first baseman. A runner now on third with two away.
Mackey led the Hillbillies last year with 24 hits. He was second on the squad with 21 runs batted in, as well as 5 doubles, Ryan. So we know this kid has a bat. He's looking to use it to drive in a run here in the first inning.
And that really got moving. Mackey went flying there. So again, 2 down, a runner on third. No score here in the top of the first. Opening day baseball here on April Fools. Moses steals. In there, called strike. It's one breaking ball today, and it worked out to his favor. The rest strikes. Might have put a runner on first base who stole his way to third. But I'll tell you, the consistency is applaudable. Just an out away, our West Orange from getting their regular season bats dirty.
That's a beer. That's number 12.
So the count 0-2. And Moses will step off and take a breath.
A bit of an interesting move as there's no one remotely close to the bag there at third. You see Eli Cohen, who's in the hot corner today, a good 30 feet off the bag, but Moses wanted to take a breath.
So the 0-2 pitch, chopped, foul. We'll do 0-2 once again, as that was picked up there by the catcher Chance Gargiulo. Special thank you to Mr. Stefan Zakella of West Orange High School for making today's production possible, as well as head coach Tim Blumkin. And the principal of West Orange High School is head coach Hayden Moore. So this looks to be a high pitch called by Gargiulo. It will be delivered and grounded into the hole for an RBI single. As the center fielder will throw it in, Verona will cross home plate and score the first run of this ball game. It's an RBI single for Mackey.
That's a terrific piece from Ben Mackey as he drives in a run. And we talked about it before, but the kid has a great bat on him, and I'm looking to see a lot more of that from him today and the rest of this season.
So the shortstop, Logan Cologne, steps into the righty box. Moses' consistency cannot hold Verona at 0 in the top half of the first. Moses steals. High pitch for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Again, attendance starting to skew on in here. Track practice behind us here at West Orange. Track getting their season started this weekend. Spring sports starting up. Here's the pitch. In there, called strike, and a nice hold behind the plate by Gargiulo. And the count's 1-1. And Alex, I always have applause for catchers. They do the dirty work. They sit in a very uncomfortable position in what many would say a lazy man's sport, and they really hold the ball quite brilliantly on pitches that are questionable for the umpires to, have to react.
Oh, I feel like that's a little bit of a self-compliment in a way, because as my partner here, Ryan Lowy, used to be a catcher and played baseball.
Yes, I did. As Mr. Zakella pops on in here. He's present at today's game, checking out his former team. He's now in charge of all athletics here, as that's a low called strike, and the count is 1-2.
So I mentioned Mr. Ryan Lowy here, terrific catcher, has not playing right now, but got a little bit of self-applause there. I'm not just going to let you get away with that, Ryan. Come on.
The 1-2. Runner goes, Moses steals. This pitch is high. The throw down to second, not in time, as that will also be called a ball. So a 2-2 as Mackey slides in safe at second base. And Curtis Battle will throw it back to his pitcher.
That's the first baseman showing some wheels right there, Ryan. You don't see that too often.
So the shortstop will now take his time. Again, Verona, a very strong year last year. These were two teams neck and neck throughout the season's entirety. Just turned out Verona, standings-wise, did not get the benefit of the doubt. West Orange placed second, Verona placed third, and the winner of the Liberty division will be Liberty once again this year. That is the James Caldwell Chiefs, also football state champions this year, so athletics there going quite well for them.
I just want to point out that Ben Mackey has just tied his stolen base
Swung
total.
on and missed, Alex, as you were saying. Continue, but that'll do the top half of the first.
Yeah, so Mackey has as many stolen bases in the first inning today as he did all of last season, and that will do it for the first inning here.
And now we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for the West Orange Mountaineers, Alex. So tell us what West Orange has in store for us to get their 2022 campaign underway.
So West Orange, their first three hitters will be the second baseman, Curtis Patel, followed by
Curtis Battle.
Excuse me. Center fielder Noah Stennett, and in the three hole will be Mikey Cassels, who is playing first base today. All three of these guys, they played terrific in the scrimmage we saw. They had great stat lines last season. I'm really excited to see how they will do in the home half of the first today.
And this Verona defense that we're going to be taking a look at, who have a 1-0 lead to work off of here on our scoreboard, and that is going to be catching, doing the dirty work behind the plate, Ryan Radigan. In the outfield in left, we have Chase Gebbia. In right, we have Julian Santorelli, and in center field is Chris Baker. In the infield, we have from third to first, the Carb at third. At shortstop is Cologne. The second baseman is Colin Knight, and playing first base is Ben Mackey, and on the mound is Sean Mulligan. Tell us a little bit about Sean Mulligan.
Well, Ryan, he's been phenomenal. As I mentioned before, in his junior season, he put up crazy numbers, and as I mentioned before, he's looking to keep that going. Mulligan pitched 30 innings here. Only 31 hits, 28 runs, 28 runs overall, 14 walks. On the contrast, though, 41 strikeouts, Ryan. That's a darn good ratio, if you ask me.
That is definitely applaudable. So he will take the mound. He's a tall right-hander, he is. We're seeing a righties battle on the mound today here in West Orange. Well, interestingly confusing weather day, Alex.
Well, the greatest segue in the history of sports. Speaking of battle, we have Curtis Battle, who is a junior second baseman, as I mentioned before. He had 7 RBI last year and 4 stolen bases, and he will be leading off for the West Orange Mountaineers.
And the pitch to Battle. That'll be pulled, opposite way. Bowling, he's going to try and go for 2. Battle will have himself a leadoff single. So the first pitch in the bottom half of the second inning is an opposite way single for Curtis Battle. Double.
Ryan,
what a hit.
Yeah, that would be a double because, 2 bases is 2, so that would be a double.
So a double to get us going. Wow, what brilliant piece of contact right there. West Orange is running second base. Battle gets us started here in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's Noah Stannett, the center fielder, and actually it looks like Battle is wearing the extra protection. Smart one.
Yes. And we see now the first base coach coming over to collect his accessories, and that will give Noah Stennett time to step into the box, grab his bearings, and look to drive in a run early on here. That ball rolled all the way down the left field line. It was a very tough chase down in left field as that turf just dragged Gebbia all the way down the line. As Stannett's first pitch will get by the catcher, and now West Orange has the tying run just 90 feet away. Wow. So just like that, West Orange putting on the pressure as the count is 1-0 to Stannett. Again, West Orange coming in this year with the advantage. They have a player committed to play in college. So the 1-0. Stannett stands firm, and he's going to take one down low, and the count's 2-0. Thus far, Mulligan looks a little bit shaky, a couple of balls in the dirt, metaphorically speaking, as we're playing on turf, but I wouldn't think too much into it, Ryan. He can play cool, calm, and collected, and his team has the lead, so not much to worry about yet as that one's fouled back.
Mulligan's pitch it, fouled away. Runner on third base for the Woe. Mountaineers thirsty to tie this ball game up and get us restarted. Stannett with the 1-1 count and the pitch. Mulligan's first called strike thrown of the game. Count 2-2. Again, Mulligan stands firm as well. He's got multiple different pitches. We'll see a curveball and a changeup at him as this pitch just misses the zone. That fills up the count.
Well, Stennett, coming off a phenomenal junior season with 13 runs, he was second on the team with 22 hits and led his team in RBI, triples, and home runs at 21, 6, and 3 respectively.
And this pitch is fouled away.
As I was saying, Ryan also had 5 stolen bases, so he's a menace in the batter's box and on the base path, Ryan.
So the full count will be done once again. Stannett swinging to protect here. A leadoff double from Battle. Steals third on the pass ball, and Stannett will try and drive him on in or get himself on first base as he fouls one away once again.
You have to remember, Ryan, with the runner on third, no outs, deep fly ball scores the run, so even if he does fly out, still a plus for the Mountaineers.
And while Stannett doing a great job second to lead off here, he's worked an 8-pitch at bat. Here's the 8th pitch coming real soon from Mulligan, who just stepped off. Count is full. Runner on third base. Battle. Comfortable lead. He's not being held on in the pitch. Fouled away once again. We'll see pitch number 9 of this at bat, Alex. We're holding that full count on the scoreboard.
Well, the payoff pitch is, it keeps not paying off, Ryan. So you mentioned pitch number 9 we will see now, and what a great duel early on.
And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, got him on the high ball. And that'll be first out recorded on the mound for Sean Mulligan. So Stannett goes down on strikes, but an applaudable at bat because he burned 9 pitches.
Yeah. And there is a limit on the number of pitches that pitchers can throw here in high school baseball. So I talked to one of the coaches over at the Verona dugout before the game. As he mentioned, that was part of trying to put balls in play and drive up the pitcher's pitch count.
So here's Mikey Cassels, the first baseman. He sees an 0-1 count. Mulligan deals with a runner on third. A low on the breaking ball, and the count's 1-1. As you can see, the positioning very jumpy behind the mound from behind the plate from Ryan Radigan. Trying to be a beast back there as the turf can roll this ball everywhere once it gets by him. And the pitch. In there, called strike, and the count's 1-2. And that runner on third base, Alex Curtis Battle. He's quick, getting a little impatient.
He is.
Wind picking up. Sun has disappeared from the premises here at West Orange High School. Busy day for their athletics as this pitch waves high. Mulligan cannot hit the gold glove. And the count is 2-2. Just one away here in the bottom half. The first, Ryan Lowy, Alex Weiss, Jalen Kelly on camera. D1 Media Pro on the NFHS Network. Opening day baseball. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that breaking ball is called strike 3.
That was nasty, Ryan. Now we see Matt Bove step up to the plate. He had 16 hits last season, 10 runs batted in. So he's looking to drive in his first of the season with a runner on third and 2 away.
That was a filthy one, Alex. What a pitch. As down on strikes goes Mikey Cassels. First non-swinging strikeout of today's affair. As you said, the two-sport athlete Matt Bove checks in. He had quite the football season, scored West Orange's first touchdown of the year, as I said just a couple weeks ago in our preseason broadcast versus Livingston against St. Peter's. As he takes a hard cut at the first pitch. Remember, he's batting fourth. He wants to drive in those runners.
He does, Ryan, and he has the opportunity to do so here. Put the ball in play. Base hit does tie this ball game.
Time is called for the cleanup hitter, and actually good timing because this wind really throws off a hitter's eye from this angle.
It does. It's picking up, and especially down there on the turf, it could cut across, and it can make you feel 15 degrees colder than it really is. As Bove watches that one go inside and low.
That breaking ball there. Right to cut on in. It was a nice frame from Radigan behind the dish. So the count finds itself at 1 apiece. Mulligan deals. Check swing. He went around. I believe it was a called strike no matter what, and the count's 1-2. So the 1-2 and 2 away. Mulligan and Radigan from plate to bump, trying to work their way out of a runner on third base with no outs earlier. Now runner on third base with 2 outs, and the pitch. That just misses the zone. A lucky Mountaineer call.
It was close, Ryan, for sure. It's a little hard to tell inside, outside from this angle, but that did appear just to be a tad bit outside.
So the 2-2, Sean Mulligan Stands firm. He winds and deals. Well too high, and the count is full. And again, Alex, you got to think about situations like the four-hitter up. You walk him. You get rid of that danger of him putting that ball in play with the strong bat that he usually would have in the four spot. And there's a force out at an extra base to get the inning over with. So not the end of the world as Mulligan deals. And he does not lose that much on a walk. It puts runners on the corners. The only thing that really hurts, I guess, is the pitch count. Assuming that he is able to get the next hitter out for West Orange.
It's Amir Stewart.
So Amir Stewart, another dual sport athlete for West Orange, will step up as Bove walks to get his day started. He still does not have a recorded hit, as most Mountaineers do so far, as the runner from first goes to second. No throw, as Stewart takes a strike. Again, walks do not count in the batting average, as they always haven't. Baseball, an interesting game to score, very statistical.
It is, and it makes sense that Radigan didn't throw down there, as that almost guarantee that a battle would have scored there.
So there's another strike, and the count is 0-2.
I want to see Stewart choke up a little bit, try and protect with two runners in scoring position here, right?
Well, the lead run is on second base. That'll give West Orange the first lead of the season. Verona currently holding on to their first lead as that 0-2 pitch. Tried to get him chasing, and Stewart does not do so, and the count is 1. Again, Radigan just trying to hold the inside and outside corners. He's a very flexible catcher, as we've seen so far. His stance is very open, and he's working very high. And the 1-2, low called, strike 3. Verona will escape with a lead, so we do an inning. We're going to the second. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. Stay tuned on the D1 Media Pro page in the NFHS Network.
Do you want your school to be covered by the #1 live stream service in the state of New Jersey so the entire country can see moments like this?
We play once again. Free kick coming for the Mountaineers. Short shot on goal. On post. And West Orange gets the goal, and they win. They take down the #2 ranked Seton Hall Pirates. Bullock takes the snap. He's going to take it himself. Barreling towards the goal line, and he's in. Carriage Bullock from 3 yards out, and the Marauders lead it 20-7.
Or be a witness to championships like these?
Montclair are state sectional champions. They defeat Livingston 4-1, and the Mounties sweep the boys and girls brackets in back-to-back wins over the Lancers. 3-2, there goes the runners. Swing on and miss, strike 3. That does it. The Cranford Cougars are the Last Dance World Series champions.
Or have exclusive interviews with players and coaches.
Maroon and Silver Star pitcher Teague Mulcahy. I'm here with Cranford star Ryan Jaros.
With the Bergen Crusaders, star of the game, Luis De La Cruz.
Here with West Orange head coach Doug Nevins. And all right, now here with star goalkeeper Nikolai Matthews of this West Orange Mountaineer team. Nikolai. Here with Claire Manning after Montclair picks up a 4-1 win over Livingston. I'm here with Molly Brumback, the goalkeeper. Molly, what was today like? Here with West Orange girls varsity coach Sean DeVore.
Then join the D1 Media Pro team, New Jersey's #1 live streaming service.
Top of the second, we've played one full inning. Here's Colin Knight, the 7th hitter. 1-0 Hillbillies as the Mountaineers strand 2. And the pitch. That's high for a ball, 1-0. West Orange, 1 hit on the day.
I want to point out the pitching performance in the latter half of that inning by Mulligan. Despite having a runner out there with nobody out, he had 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging and 1 on the look. Very impressive stuff there as he got out of a situation with 2 runners in scoring position with no runs across home plate, Ryan.
I just want to update all the viewers. I did say I was going to go get sunglasses from my car. Why would I? We're getting the wind again. Back to the expected weather on the forecast. It's been an interesting day in New Jersey for opening day as the 1-1. Inside, strike. 2. Again, we're seeing Colin Knight with his first at-bat of the regular season. Each team roughly 5 to 10 preseason games with skewered rules that the umpires and both coaches of each team agreed on. The pitch is fouled away, and Knight will keep himself alive with the 1-2 count and no outs. Again, Alex, it's great to be back with high school baseball, and we're really taking a look at some of the best programs in the state of New Jersey, and I'd say potentially 3, maybe 4 of them come from this Essex County Super Essex Conference, which we'll get to in a second. As the 1-2 pitch. And time is called, so I'll get to my point, Alex. Millburn Baseball, they took down the defending state champions last year, now no longer the defending state champions, the defending sectional finalists, and that is the Cranford Cougars. Seton Hall, always good, always in the top 15, even on a bad year, as here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's upstairs 2-2. Montclair, they lost a lot of talent, but their JV program and their freshman program did phenomenal, and still some returning starters are people who got good at bats, so a lot of good competition in the American division. And then, of course, the Liberty division. Caldwell has taken down some of the most prestigious programs and always holds an easily over 500 record. So a lot of talent here in Essex County's very own Super Essex Conference. As that pitch is upstairs, and a count that was once 1-2 is now worked full.
This is great hitting right here from Knight. I just want to correct something I said before earlier. Mulligan actually had 2 strikeouts looking last inning, which very impressive. We saw his breaking ball as a righty cutting across the plate.
Here's the pitch. And the full count pitch grounded right back. Oh, what a play from Moses, as the hitter is retired. We have 1 away here in the second inning. Good awareness. That's what your pitcher fielding practice does for you, Alex.
Yes. It's never too early to start the Gold Glove campaign, Ryan, even as a pitcher.
That's right. And here's Julian Santorelli, a right fielder. And he's going to step into that lefty's box. One of just a few Verona, or even just hitters today, period, that are going to step into the lefty's box. As Moses, for his second inning of action, trying to get his 5th out of the day recorded, and he will throw a ball into the dirt to get this count started, and the count.
Moses succeeded 4 hits in that first inning, but knock on wood, so far he's doing very well.
The 1-0, and Moses will deal. And this pitch is drilled, and the shortstop will make the play as the throw is in time. A brilliant infield play for the second out right there by Matt Bove. The football player can also play baseball.
Ryan, I was scared I jinxed it there, but that was a nice play by Bove, who I mentioned before can really flash the leather, and he does so there to record the second out.
So a 6-3 in the scorebook. Here's Matt Vacarb, the third baseman. And the pitch, upstairs. My apologies, Vaccaro. Can't be perfect as the count is 1-0. And now, Alex, we're getting those rain warnings. So an interesting day here in West Orange. You can't ask for any more confusing weather. The 1-0, here's pitch. There's a strike to Vaccaro, and the count's 1-1.
At its finest, Ryan, you can never tell. Forecast is never right, weatherman's never right. Only thing we know is when it happens.
You know what they say, this weather suit the Garden State. The 1-1.
Yeah, the rain's good for the flowers. April showers bring May flowers, as they like to say.
That is what they like to say, is it's 2 away here in the top half of the second. Alex, I'd say we're moving quite quickly so far.
We are. It's a fast-paced game. Both pitchers doing well.
Again, the Hillbillies, just a 1-0 lead. These two teams really battled it out in their times last year against each other. We'll get to that later on in the broadcast, as the count here is 1-2. With 2 outs, the pitch just a shy bit upstairs, and the count is 2-2. Again, that was a very good frame back there.
It was, but this home plate umpire is being generous to the batter with those pitches that are a little bit around the chest, and calling them balls to the batter's benefit.
2-2, 2 outs. 3 2s on the board, and that will be called strike 3. Apparently, the ball hit the ground for drop strike 3. The throw a little wild, but it gets to first base, and a drop strike 3 will retire the third out of the inning within Matt Vaccaro. So that will be the top of the second at its completion. We're going to go to the bottom half. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. It's a windy day once again here in West Orange on the D1 meter per page on the NFHS network.
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown.
Right down the middle, man. This guy, and he keep going, and he
the ball's loose.
And they hop back on it, and that's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounces at the 35, fielded at the 40 by Quick, out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Cuts back, he's in for a touchdown.
Swing pass in the flat.
If he gets to the corner, he's going to get in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Good job, block.
Third down and 17, a handoff, getting to the outside. There's a first down, and all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliam to the house for a touchdown and for an IMIC for a division championship.
Well, a hit a walk, and 3 strikeouts is what Mulligan saw in the first frame, and he's looking to continue his scoreless effort here in the second, with Cohen, Moses, and Gargiulo leading off this second inning for the Mountaineers, Ryan.
So Eli Cohen, the third baseman, will get us started. Then we see a pitcher to hit, and then Chance Gargiulo, Jason Jackson. If we see a fourth hitter, we'll clean up that order. And, well, Alex, I'm feeling an enemy to the broadcast. That's raindrops.
Well, fingers crossed that the rain does hold out, and then...
Well, the first pitch in the bottom half of the second is not delayed by the rain. It is 0-1. Remember, we're playing on turf, so it's not an end-of-the-world situation for the players.
The only concern weather-wise would be lightning, which obviously you got to get everyone off the field.
And the pitch. Breaking ball does not fit the frame, and the count is 1-1. Hard to believe, Alex. Just moments ago, we saw sun and almost no wind. That's just how Mother Nature treats everyone.
Yep.
Mulligan deals. Fouled away, 1-2. Again, you know what? The weather is interesting in baseball, especially in outdoor stadiums, unlike Toronto and locations like that.
Tampa as well.
Yeah, we'll keep going, because it really brings character to the baseball game. It changes the effort that the defense has to work with. There's a called strike 3 breaking ball. Throw it around the diamond. You deserve it, Verona. That's a beautiful at-bat right there.
Great breaking ball to send down Cohen looking. His third backwards K in just 2 1/3. Or 1 1/3, excuse me.
So Cohen will go down, and the first pitch misses, and the count is 1-0.
Little pitcher action here, Ryan.
Yep, so a pitcher-pitcher battle, and the pitch in there, called strike. The count's 1-1.
They're both dugouts chirping it up. They know that this is an exciting at-bat, an important one at that early on here in the second inning.
1-1, turn to 0-1-2. So the 1-2. And that one missed for a ball.
That was the nice framing job by Radigan, however, unable to convince the umpire. And Moses lives to see another pitch.
Time is called. Again, we really need to keep an eye on that weather. Looks like the umpires are ready for it, as well as the coaches, possibly having to temporarily suspend the ball game. This pitch, opposite side, grounded to second, and the throw to first is in time. 2 up, 2 down for the Mountaineers here in the bottom half of the second.
Well, that was one of Verona's keys to the game, was getting balls in play and letting the defense do the work. As you saw, a beautiful exchange from Colin Knight to Ben Mackey, second base to first, to retire the second batter of this inning. And in the home half of the second, it has been smooth sailing for Sean Mulligan's Hillbillies.
So as I said, 2 up, 2 down. As we're seeing the bottom half of the West Orange lineup take display and try and get their scoreboard going this season, as the first pitch is a breaking ball. Called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Chance Gargiulo.
The man behind the dish, Ryan.
Yes. The 0-1 to Gargiulo, and the pitch. A hard cut and a miss. So hard it got by Radigan, and the count's 0-2. So the 0-2 pitch with the wind stirring. Again, this really does change the outlook of a pitcher's viewpoint. The 0-2.
It's also rough in the outfielders, Ryan.
Yeah, the pitch. Cut on and missed. He struck him out. So 3 up, 3 down. A great inning defensively for the Hillbillies. Only 1 run. And those guys with the run are coming to hit next. I'm Ryan Lauer. He's Alex Weiss. T1 Media Pro Page. Anything just never.
Heads up, Jack. Understood. Took him and decreasing.
Ethan Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Top half of the third inning. Again, the weather starting to be its own issue as West Orange is out for another inning of defensive work and Verona's getting ready to hit. Ryan Lowy, Alex Weiss, Jalen Kelly, keep an eye on the weather for you.
Well, Ryan, I'm no meteorologist, but I can read the weather app, and it says that we will have a light drizzle stopping in approximately 38 minutes.
38 minutes, and you know what that means? The leaves will be flying because, I don't know why, it just starts to feel like fall in weather like this at the beginning of the spring.
Not West Orange or Verona baseball, but MLB baseball news. Mets ace Jacob deGrom will be missing significant time after being diagnosed with a stress fracture in his right shoulder. This is devastating to the Mets rotation and Mets fans in general, myself included. Very unfortunate stuff, but hey, we still have Scherzer. So.
Not the news you would want to hear, Alex.
No. Hopefully this is an April Fool's joke, but I don't think Jeff Passan is a huge prankster, so unfortunately this is the reality for Mets fans, as we are so used to.
So Moses is out to do another inning of work, as here's a first pitch strike to Kozacek. Kozacek is me, yeah. Kozacek is giving me that eighth hitter vibe with a big bat as he's taking, I saw him taking some big cuts as there's a squibbed ball into his own dugout. We saw those cuts he was taking during the half of the inning, and he was really taking some hard cuts there. So he's really ready to drive one out of here. I mean, it's very rare in areas like these where you see fences as beautiful as West Orange, and of course down at the Kelly Athletic Complex, Seton Hall, a similar situation. But Livingston, no fence. Caldwell, not much of a fence. A lot of schools without fences out here. And I mean, Milburn, an impromptu fake grass, I guess, fence. This pitch is outside for a ball 1-2. The situation in Milburn, very interesting, is they're surprisingly hosting opening day. They have a fence that they kind of like put up with poles.
Yeah. Livingston originally supposed to play at home, but they do not have, you know, with the grass field there, they weren't sure how the weather was going to hold out.
Swung on and missed for strike three. Gonna try and reach on drop strike three. The throw is in time, as actually I seem to be wrong. I stand corrected, not in time.
Yeah, it was a close one for sure, Ryan. Your resume has deceived you, but. So
yeah, I think that could have gone either way, Alex.
It could have. Drop third strike in effect for the first time today as Kozacek reaches first, and he has some big bats behind him, and Radigan and Mulligan looking to extend this Hillbillies lead.
So the left fielder will now check in to run down the order for the Hillbillies as Kozacek reaches on drop strike three. He'll try and be that second run as he represents for the Hillbillies. And the pitch. Upstairs for a ball. The count's 1.
And this Verona dugout's making sure that Moses hears it, Ryan.
So the 1-0 count, yeah.
A huge part of baseball is these mind games and these chirps getting in the other team's head, specifically the pitcher. Especially after a play like that.
The 1-0 and a little fake check back, but not much of a lead coming from Kozacek. Not sure what they were trying to edge for there.
And just, again, mind games. But I love watching these guys slide on turf because you don't get... It's a lot of friction, so you're not going to be sliding 5-10 feet. It's more of a dive.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Looks like they're having some fun out in the outfield. Looks like they're playing a little juggling with a soccer ball, as this is a soccer field come fall time for sub-varsity programs of very talented West Orange girls and boys soccer. Both teams made the county finals. The girls won it. The boys lost to in-town foes within Seton Hall Prep. So West Orange host to the Essex County Tournament for soccer.
We also see some javelin throwing going on out and past the fence in center field. So lots going on today, Ryan.
The 3-0.
Radigan with a single in the first. He was pinch ran for, and his pinch runner, who was Frey, ended up scoring.
And the pitch is in there for a strike, and the count's 3-1. And the 3-1. Looks like they got the runner at first, Alex. That was a close call.
It was very close. I personally thought the throw was just a tad bit late, but honestly, it could have gone either way.
Well, it seems like somebody's still frustrated about it on the mound. Doesn't want him to sneak his way into scoring position for West Orange. Just the pitch. Misses the zone. So that's a 5-pitch walk. Puts the runner into scoring position for free. So does Riley Moses have himself in a pickle, as he will now be taking on Ryan Radigan in the top of the lineup.
And we see the pinch runner Frey once again Runners on first and second for the pitcher, Sean Mulligan, who went down on strikes swinging in his first appearance, looking to do better this time with 2 on and nobody out, Ryan. We see Gargiulo having a little chat with Moses, and he will step back to his spot behind the plate. We will play ball once more.
So runner on first, runner on second. And the pitch. Hard cut and a miss.
I think Mulligan might be trying to do a little too much here, Ryan.
Yeah, I apologize for that one, as it seems that Kozacek was DHing for Gebbia. So that was Ryan Radigan on the walk. And Radigan, as you would expect from a catcher, he gets the pinch runner. Mulligan shows bunt. He lays it down. That's going to do its job, as the throw to first is quite easily in time. So it's a sacrifice for Mulligan. And that was quite worthy of the sacrifice, Alex, because with only 1 out, runners are on second and third to extend Verona's lead, potentially 2 runs to bring up Chris Baker, the center fielder. And Chris Baker, he's got the bats, and Ben Mackey, also excited. He has a single on the day, the first hit that Verona saw this season, second hit Verona saw this season, excuse me, on deck. So Baker will dig on in, the center fielder, with ambition to do much. Alex, the finger's getting a little numb as it's getting quite chilly.
Ryan. The wind is coming.
And here's the funniest part, Alex. Yesterday was like 70 degrees.
It was beautiful yesterday. Now that the sun is behind a cloud, it's like we're back in the winter months.
And the pitch. This one is past the second baseman for a single. 1 run scores the way of the second run home. And the second run is in time. Gargiulo can't handle it, as both Kozacek and Radigan score. Mulligan sacrificed, pushed the runners over, and Baker delivered. Baker with a single. I think that was hard hit enough to be considered a single and not an error.
I agree, Ryan. I do think that was a single. That would have been an extremely tough play for Curtis Battle, but regardless, 2 runs score, and Baker finds himself with 2 RBI.
So Baker will get himself his first recorded hit of the 2022 season. Here's Mackey. They're going to check the runner at first. He slides in safe. Again, that was a bullet to second base.
And that's also the second run that Frey has scored pinch running for Radigan.
Yeah. So. And Alex, if you can make that play at second base, you're not playing SEC Liberty Baseball anymore. You're playing in the MLB, because that was a rocket of a hit on turf, as that's a strike. Count 0-1. Yeah, as you said, the pinch runner scores, as well as Kozacek, who reached. Again, Verona playing that DH game in their lineup. They want to see Gebbia in left field, but they want to see Kozacek hit. They don't want Gebbia in the lineup. The 0-1 pitcher going to check the runner at first. He slides in safe.
A lot of pickoff attempts today, Ryan.
Yes, a lot of pickoffs today. The turf can benefit you in many ways. It's easier to read a bounce when you're throwing, but at the same time, it's also easier to get traction when running if you're wearing the right cleats, for it. If you're wearing shoes, well, say goodbye. But if you're wearing cleats, the proper cleats on turf, you can really get some quickness. Check the runner at first.
That was a little bit closer, Ryan. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one of these.
And you know, Alex, we really want to check it out, not to change the subject here, but a new softball field here at West Orange for West Orange softball. A solid season they had last year. They're playing in the Liberty of the softball this year, so we want to check out the softball field. They're not using the soccer field and the elementary school local softball field anymore. They now have their own beautiful facility with lighting as well, as the lights are on here at West Orange. They're going to check the runner at first. He's in safe. I guess those clouds make it dark enough to establish a lighting here at West Orange.
Well, as I mentioned before, the sun is no longer shining, and we're feeling it here as it is really cold, Ryan. I'm not surprised we're seeing a lot of checks over at first and pickoff attempts, as I can imagine that Riley Moses' fingers might be starting to get a little bit chilly. So I'm not surprising that he might be taking a second in between pitches, readjusting, doing what he has to do to make sure that he can put the ball in the strike zone.
That's right, so we've seen a couple hits today, one extra base hit today, and that came from West Orange in the top half of the first. Didn't do its duty, as West Orange has still yet to hit the score line. Verona, 1 run in the first, and then here in the third, they put 2 down, as here's a solid hit, 1 to short. They might turn 2. There's 1, and the throw to first, not in time. A solid squib hit to shortstop. It's going to go 6 and then 4, get the lead runner out. So 2 away now with a runner on first base. It's going to be now replacing Baker at first base, Mackey.
We have Logan Cologne actually stepping up to the plate.
Logan Cologne is now up. He struck out swinging in his first appearance. Once again, a runner on first, a different runner this time. And Riley Moses wants to check once again. He's not really throwing it over too much in his checks. It's quite funny. And a pitch quickly coming in there for a low called strike. And a very good effort from Gargiulo to get the glove under there and the thumb under there to pop it on up for a strike, and the count's 0-1. West Orange's students starting to show up. Support their team here on April Fools. Interesting opening day weather. Very inconsistent. We've seen it all. Here's the pitch. Grounded. The second baseman will handle it and make the play. End the top half of the third. So we've played 2.5. We're going to play 3. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. Stay tuned on the D1 meter per page on the NFHS network.
It's better down here.
This New Jersey, that was. I can't see it. Blacked out. It's blurred. Well, it's supposed to be blurry. Blackhawks or Ducks?
So obvious.
Oh no! 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 Blackhawks! Blackhawks!
What did you say the first time? I didn't even hear.
I said Rangers, it's Blackhawks.
Yeah, it's Blackhawks.
I'm in Chicago was the home team twice, so you know this is not a gimme series for Edmonton. But I still make the Otis a single.
In there, called strike to get us started with the bottom half of the third. West Orange will present the bottom half of the lineup. Jason Jackson, then we move right back to the top with Curtis Battle, who had an extra base hit to get us started today for West Orange. He did not score, he was stranded on third.
He was in, well, West Orange with 2 runners in scoring position there in the first frame, unable to capitalize, and Battle will be hitting next. He's on deck, and then in the hole is Noah Stennett, who struck out swinging in the first frame.
The 1-2 has a hard cut and miss at the high fastball. Alex, it's one thing about the SEC Liberty Division, consistent pitchers. You don't see those 95, 100-mile-per-hour pitchers like you do in the American Division, but in the Liberty Division, you see consistency as there's a called strike 3. Do the first out, the bottom half of the third. So Jackson goes down and strikes. And West Orange rolls through the lineup for the first time this season without a run to report. But the man with an extra base hit on the day, the only one, Curtis Battle. Alex, he's the only player with a West Orange hit this season. Yeah, this season, really, you could say. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called strike. We're seeing that breaking ball worked in there.
Especially to a left-handed batter that, from a right-handed pitcher in Mulligan, coming across his shoulder, putting downward spin on the ball, that could really be effective as it cuts across the plate and onto the back foot of the batter.
And this is going to be an opposite side Out of play, foul ball. And one thing we're noticing here from Curtis Battle is that he's really changed up his swing. It's a very inside-out type of swing. He's hitting balls down to left field as a lefty.
And we saw that with his leadoff double back in the first round as well.
Yeah, that ball rolled too. He works well with this turf as the 0-2. Fouled right at the Verona dugout. And, well, if you're at Caven Point, that's going to really hurt somebody. But we are actually right here at the Great West Orange High School baseball field, where that will have no effect on anybody's health because there's a nice, great fence there. 0-2 with one away. And the pitch. Just inside. Radigan, a good effort framing, but it didn't do the job.
It was a little up and in, Ryan, but it was close for sure.
So the count is 1-2. Mulligan deals. This one is squibbed to first base, and the catch will be made to retire the first out of the from Ben Mackey. So Battle no longer batting 1,000.
500 is not too shabby either, Ryan.
No, absolutely not. You make jokes about that all day, but you can't really start to count the average until you're 7-8 games in, really fairly, I guess you could say.
But what matters most for these Mountaineers is that they are still presenting a donut on the scoreboard.
So there are 2 out, and this brings up again, a very good baseball player. Know what Stan it is. The 1-0. That misses again.
I mentioned his stat line from last season, Ryan, I mentioned his stat line in his junior campaign. He was phenomenal, and he's looking to continue that success this year. Hitless through his first at-bat, but he's looking to change that.
Well, that breaking ball a little bit too much for Radigan. Counts 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. That breaking ball just misses, and the count's 3-1. Again, Radigan is selling it quite well, but he just isn't getting the umpire's eye.
He isn't, but Stan did a great job of not following through with the swing there. We saw he was looking for it, but he held back.
So Stannett gets his first ticket this season on base, and it's for free. No charge for him. And that'll welcome in Mikey Cassels, the first baseman. He struck out looking his first appearance, Alex.
Well, through 2 2/3, that's only the second walk that Mulligan has. Only 1 hit thus far for him. 6.
And the pitch. In there for a strike. And 1.
As I was saying, 6 strikeouts through 2 2/3. Phenomenal thus far from Mulligan.
So the 0-1 with the runner on first base. 2 away. Here in the bottom half. Caught on and missed. 0-2.
It's a very generous lead from Stennett. Almost halfway down the baseline by the time he's done with the secondary.
So the 0-2 count now. And a lead for Stannett. Quite comfortable. Cassels, again, you can take more comfortable leads with the righty pitcher. 0-2, check swing, not even close. 1-2. Looked like he wanted to commit, pulled it back early. And then it's now 1-2. One, 2. Called, strike 3. We retire the 3rd inning. West Orange with no hits to record. And they are still with no score. We're going to go to the 4th. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. D1 Media Pro Page, NFHS Network.
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown.
Right down the middle, man. This guy, and he keep going, and the
ball's loose.
And they hop back on it, and that's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounces at the 35, fielded at the 40 by Quick, out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Cuts back, he's in for a touchdown!
Swing pass in the flat.
If he gets to the corner, he's going to get in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Good job, block.
3rd down and 17, a handoff, getting to the outside. There's a hole, there's a first down, and all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliams to the house for a touchdown and for an IMIC for a division championship.
We go to 4th inning. 3 runs to none is what we see, and the hitters are the Hillbillies of Verona, and they have that lead. Still on the mound, Riley Moses. Consistency we've seen from him, Alex, but not the scoreline he wants.
Well, it's a little bit deceiving, 3 runs to 3 innings, but at the same time, these runner bats have been going. 4 hits through 3 thus far, as we will see Colin Knight lead off. He grounded out to the pitcher in his first at-bat. He will be followed by Santorelli and Matt Vaquero, the third baseman, neither of whom recorded a hit in their first at-bat.
So the second baseman, Knight, digs in. Moses still on the mound. He'll deal. Let's get this 4th inning started with a strike, shall we? So the 0-1. And it looks like a little fooled by the weather here, as, a spurt of wind comes in.
Yeah.
A little fooled by the weather right there. On the mound is Moses, as he will deal the 0-1. In there, called strike, and the count's 0-2.
That's the second most strike that Knight has watched go by, and I mentioned before the umpire is generous to the batter with those higher pitches, but he's giving everything to the pitcher below the knees, so Knight's gonna have to watch out for that and choke up here down 0-2.
And the 0-2, and the pitch. And that'll just miss in the count 1-2.
Wind picking back up again here in West Orange.
Yeah, not a sight you want to see if you're a pitcher.
It's not as we start the 4th inning. 1-2 to Knight.
And the 1-2. Called, strike, 3. Down on strikes. 1 away. So Colin Knight will go down looking, and then I'll bring up Julian Santorelli.
That's a 3rd strikeout of the game for Moses. Through 3 1/3.
Good stat line for him. Santorelli, a 6.3. Recorded on his stat line to get his season started. Trying to get himself into the batting average column this at-bat. Again, we have more baseball going on in D1 Media Pro Seton Hall and West Essex. There's the ball hammered and out of the glove of the shortstop. The throw to first base cannot be handled. I think he would have been safe anyway. That was a rocket. I'm going to give him a single. That was a nice piece.
I feel like that might be an error.
That was pretty hard hit, and they're very generous at the high school level in the scorebook. That was a rocket, Alex.
You know what? Let's call it a single, and why not?
We'll have to check on NJ.com tomorrow and see what they rule it, but there's a runner on first base. That was a rocket right there, in and out of the shortstop glove. Very hard for Bove to handle.
Now we have Vaquero stepping up to the plate, who went down looking in the 2nd inning, now stepping up for his 2nd at-bat, looking to get in the hit column.
And the pitch. In there, called strike, and the count 0-1. Again, as I said earlier, Seton Hall and West Essex, a very good baseball matchup. West Essex playing their first varsity game without Sorrentino since 5 years ago.
See a little scoreboard malfunction out there in left center.
Yeah, we do, as the check to first. Not in time. Yeah, that scoreboard looking empty. We got ours, though. And the pitch. Twisted inside. One. And of course, as we were saying, our West Essex preview we just went through this year, first season without Sorrentino. Seton Hall, 26-1 record last year. They're trying to build off that, as they're such a good program, they consider that a bad year.
One loss is lost too many for those Pirates over at Seton Hall. The Prep, as they like to call it.
And yeah, us at D1 Media Pro like to call it the Kelly Athletic Complex's Porcello Field, the Yankee Stadium of high school baseball. It's just so nice out there. And then when I say, yeah, Caven Point for Jersey City, that's the Polo Grounds. His pitch is low. 2-2. So what would you consider this stadium? I think it's a very nice city field, almost of sorts.
I don't know. City Field is, you know, a newer stadium. Lots going on.
This is quite new.
It is new. I'll give you that. But this feels like more of a Fenway.
A Fenway.
It's a nice, simple park. It's classic. Not too much going on, but it's nice. Nice colorway with this West Orange.
Does it really have that history, though? I mean, West Orange, a great history, but does it have the history to be Fenway Park?
You have the Hall of Fame out here on the right field wall, so you can make that argument for sure. Fenway Park, a beautiful ballpark.
I mean, don't forget about Del Barton. They wear the green wave, and they have a very old-fashioned but beautiful stadium. There's a hard cut and a miss for strike 3.
Second strikeout of the day for Vaquero, as we'll see Kozacek step in.
Alex switched sides of the K for him. A strikeout looking to get him started, and a strikeout swinging his most recent. And here is the designated hitter who reached, Dan Kozacek.
Reached on that drop third strike. He ended up scoring the second run of the game.
Indeed he did. Runner on first pitch. And the check, not in time.
And he scored as well as the pinch runner Fry, who was running for Radigan on that 2 RBI single off the bat of the center fielder Chris Baker.
Pitch called a strike with the runner on first. And then once again for a strike, the count's on 2.
So Kozacek with a strikeout and a run scored here in the early goings of his season. Interesting stat line for sure, but his Hillbillies are winning, and that's the stat that matters most, Ryan.
Fouls away. And we're taking a look at the arm of the home plate umpire there. He rocketed one to the pitcher.
Scoreboard in left center is back up now, as we see 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. 3-0 is our score. Mountaineers trailing the Hillbillies here at West Orange High School, Essex County, New Jersey.
The 1-2. Breaking ball in and out of the glove. And high anyway. Almost looked like a pitch out. 2-2.
Would have been a pitch out more for a lefty, Ryan, as we see the right-handed Kozacek having to duck away from that one.
Yeah. We saw a pitch out the first pitch of the at-bat as well, to no success. 1-2. Moses deals. Just got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. Top half of the 4th of 7 on the schedule. We could play extra innings.
That's Julian Santorelli standing over at first. Obviously, as the right fielder, he does have speed, so that's something to watch out for if you are the pitcher, Riley Moses, especially as a righty with the back turned to first base.
The 1-2 once again. Just got a piece of it. Now this is a good at-bat, Alex. This is burning pitches.
It is.
I like to say they're putting pitches into the fire.
Well, we saw a couple balls fouled off. That one heading onto the track, hitting the net where the track meets the football field, and this at-bat stays alive for Kozacek.
1-2. Foul ball once again. Kozacek getting his money's worth. No matter the result of this at-bat, you got to be happy because Moses getting burnt out on the mound with this. So the 1-2 once again.
This top of the 4th has been smooth sailing here for Moses as he strikes out 2, gives up a hit, but looking to leave the runner who is Santorelli stranded.
3-2.
Santorelli will be running here.
And the pitch, 3-2, 2 outs, fouled away. Wow, this is the at-bat of the year.
It is.
So far. I mean, the year just started, but wow.
Well, Kozacek, he's had the first at-bat, which was a strikeout, which ended up him running around the bases. He scored on the RBI single from Baker, and now he is working quite the at-bat. Many balls fouled off, working Moses, getting in his head, and now the full count with 2 away. So I mentioned Santorelli will be running.
First, they're going to check the runner at first once again.
See, if I'm Moses here, maybe that was just a throwaway to maybe clear his head, reset, but obviously Santorelli is going to go with the full count and 2 outs, so I'd really focus on the batter, Kozacek, here. That should be priority 1A for the pitcher, Riley Moses.
Runner's going to go. And caught by the right fielder to end the inning. So, well, Alex Bon Jovi says it best. We're halfway there. Bottom half of the fourth. Coming up next, right here. On the D1 Maple page on the NF Pages Network.
This New Jersey, that was. I can't see it. Black out. It's blurred. Well, it's supposed to be blurry. Hear that?
What? Oh. Da 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 da.
This one's obvious. Blackhawks or Ducks?
So obvious. Oh no! 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 Blackhawks! Blackhawks!
What did you say the first time? I didn't even hear.
I said Rangers. It's Blackhawks.
Yeah, it's Black.
I'm in Chicago was the home team twice, so you know this is not a gimme series for Edmonton. But I still make the other succinct.
Sean Mulligan will be taking the bump once again for his fourth frame of action. Through three, has succeeded just one hit. On the other hand, 7 strikeouts. What an outing as we see his first pitch.
Bove takes a ball.
Absolutely phenomenal as we see. Like you said, Bove leading off, Stewart on deck, Cohen in the hole. That is what this fourth inning lineup. Oh.
Bove rips one deep to center field and over the head. It's going to bounce and hit the fence. He's going to go for 2. It's an extra base hit. He's going to go for 3. This could be a triple, and that's where he's going to slide on in. It's a leadoff triple. Bove brings in the bat.
Bove, what a piece of hitting right over the head of center fielder Chris Baker, and that is how you start an inning. Matt Bove with a rocket, and he will find himself on third base.
Alex, that's what wide receiving in football does. It teaches you routes, it's him bases smoothly, calmly, and collectively, quickly. Here's Stewart, the right fielder. Time is called, and it looks like we're going to have a chat at the mound, Alex. Bove looks like he might have scared Verona a little bit, as now the tying run is on deck.
And we saw Bove with displaying his speed there on the base path. He already has a stolen base today, and obviously you mentioned he's a star in the gridiron as well, so that can be attributed to. Stewart went down looking in his first at-bat. Cohen, who is on deck, also went down looking in his first at-bat. That was in the first and second innings, respectively, but they're both looking to get themselves in the hit column as they finally find themselves with a little momentum.
Alex, that's what you watch baseball for, hits like those.
I mean, right off the bat, I mean, you could hear I stopped myself mid-sentence. I really thought that was going to go over that fence, that corner over in center field as we see. But
And on a day like this, the wind could have picked it up at any point as Stewart takes a hard foul tip and a miss.
Yeah, the wind is blowing, and we see the flag blowing next to the school. It looks like it did help the ball carry a little bit, just not enough mustard on that one.
Yeah, 1. Stewart bouncing the bat off his back shoulder as he takes a strike and the count's 0-2. Baseball, as we've said, the fields have different character and the swings all have different character and the pitches all have different character. Not like football where it's all default.
And we see the catcher.
0-2. Stewart chases. That breaking ball came just in time. You get Stewart trying to hammer fastballs like that, and then you just catch him with the breaking ball. That's how you get it. Middle lineup hitter, and there's one away.
Second strikeout for Stewart here, but I want to point out the catcher Radigan and Matt Vaccaro, the third baseman, in communication with Bove, taking a nice secondary lead.
Bunt shown. Runner does not go from third. He's going to pull back, but it's going to be a called strike anyway. And, you know, this is interesting for West Orange to try and put a bunt down. They're down 3-0. I think they want to start swinging those bats.
You might, but with the speed of Bove on third, with one out, here in this.
Yeah, that would bring me to my question. Would you want to sacrifice the second out as the pitch is outside?
And we see Bove getting in the head of the pitcher Mulligan, especially because Mulligan is right-handed. He does have a good look at Bove, and we can see just as he's about to come out of his windup and throw the ball, Bove almost breaking into a full sprint for about 5 yards.
Bunt shown, bunt pulled back. It's a ball. 2-1. Alex, that triple got me on my toes.
And I'd probably be on mine too if I could feel them, Ryan. It is just quite chilly right now.
You must be a Floridian. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Well, as much as I would love to live in Florida, Ryan, unfortunately, you know, I'm a Jersey boy through and through, so I am used to the cold. I just like to complain about it.
The 2-2. Caught on and missed, struck him. That's a big strikeout, Alex. There's 2 away.
Huge. That is the second time Eli Cohen has gone down on strikes. First time was looking now. He gets it swinging, reverse the K for him. As you see the pitcher, Riley Moses, who's 0 for 1 on the day, looking to drive in Matt Bove.
And the pitch. This one is popped sky high, leaning towards foul territory, and out of play. 0-1. Could have ended the inning there. If the wind pushed it in, could have possibly dragged in a run.
That wasn't too far from us, Ryan. Almost got a nice little souvenir.
I didn't bring my glove to the stadium today. I should have.
Mine's in the car if you want to run and grab it.
Oh, you serious? 0-1.
Notice that it was the opposite way as well. So something to watch out for if you're this Hillbillies defense. Is
Alex asked for more character from Mother Nature. I just felt some raindrops.
Oh. I'm hoping that was an April Fool's joke, but to anyone watching, I doubt that.
We promise no April Fool's Day. We promise just straight up baseball and broadcasting. The 2 Bs, broadcasting and baseball. Once again, a lot going on today. Start of softball and baseball here in the state of New Jersey. 3rd day of lacrosse in the pitch. Dropped low. Tennis starting this weekend with some domestic tournaments. And the count is 2-1. West Orange tennis, a tough season this year. Getting going in the next couple days. The pitch. Breaking ball cuts in there for a strike, and the count's 2-2.
We've seen that pitch a number of times from Mulligan, and it's just beautiful. The off-speed pitch that he throws cuts across nicely, and it'll go down and away for a right-handed batter such as Riley Moses.
2-2. Just misses. It's a good miss.
It was a good miss, and he was bringing the heat with that one. Full count, 2 away. Huge pitch, monumental pitch here for Sean Mulligan, looking to get himself out of a jam.
So the count is full. Here's the pitch. This one is going to go over the center fielder for an RBI single, possibly an extra base hit. That's in fact what it'll be. It's a RBI double for Riley Moses. A hard one for the center fielder to read. And West Orange is on the board for the first time this season.
What a terrific piece from Riley Moses. He gets it done on the mound and in the batter's box. You know, there was, initially I thought that the center fielder, Chris Baker, would have been able to get a hand on that, but with the way the wind's going, it was nearly impossible, especially the way the clouds are. They're dark, it's hard to track the ball. That was definitely a hit, no doubt in my mind. Tough inning, though, for Baker, who saw the triple go over his head, and now the RBI double.
And the pitch is in there for a strike. And the count is, as we see a pinch runner standing at second base. And that looks to be Ty Kelly. And the pitch. It'll drop low, and the count is 1-1.
You're right, that is Ty Kelly stepping in for Moses, the pitcher, who, with this indication of a pinch runner, I would imagine it will be going for another frame.
So that tough read in center field by Baker, as there's a hard foul ball. Keeps this in alive. I thought he was going to catch it, but it just poured right over him. That wind killer. And here it is once again, presenting its presence in West Orange. You could just hear it vehemently rushing through. On the 1-2. Pitch. Fouled away.
It's the catcher Gargiulo looking to extend this inning and claw his team back into this one as they now trail by only 2 with 2 strikes and 2 out here in the home 4th. 1 run across already, looking to extend that is Gargiulo.
Pitch outside. 2-2. And 2 away here in West Orange.
Ryan, I just felt another raindrop, which I mean, we've been saying all afternoon, so hopefully it just stays at the...
You're hoping for the same little,
Yeah.
false alarm as this pitch is. Grounded, fair down the third base line, and mishandled. We might have a little pickle as the throw to second base is not in time, so runners on first and second. You could score that an infield doozy of a hit. That was interesting. Little infield single grounded to third.
And
Little
Moses,
fielder's choice is bobbled. Maybe even an error, you could call that one.
Yeah, I would probably call that an error.
Yeah, so that would be scored as an E5. And that brings up Jason Jackson as we see yet another pinch runner make his presence at first base.
Gargiulo, 2 at-bats, no hits, but he finds himself on first base. Now the last hit in the lineup, Jackson looking to extend this inning with 2 on and 2 away.
Jackson takes a strike and the count's 0-1. 2 away here before we head to the 5th. West Orange with its tying run at first base, 2 pinch runners on base, and the last hitter in the lineup at the plate who takes his first ball of the count as it's 1-1.
That's Ethan Young pinch running for Gargiulo over at first base. Young, the sophomore, first time seeing him this season.
The 1-1. Bunt shown, bunt drawn, bunt foul. Little
Great
1-2-3 sequence as it's fouled away.
Great job by Radigan to pounce on that. Even though it was foul, we saw him sliding on his knees. Almost like a hockey goalie there. Shades of Marty Brodeur behind the plate.
The 1-2.
Especially on the turf, I can imagine it's a lot easier to get down on those shin pads and slide to a ball.
So the 1-2 pitch. Mulligan deals. And a nice block by Radigan. On the ball, and it's 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And tons at stake here for Jason Jackson with 2 on. He is the go-ahead run right now as West Orange finds themselves down 2 to the Hillbillies.
And the pitch. Sliced foul.
That was somewhat anticlimactic, Ryan, if I do say so myself.
And the 2-2 with 2 outs, 2-2 scoreboard. And the pitch. Upstairs, and the count is full. Alex, we're prolonging this inning.
We are, and I mentioned that this home plate umpire is giving the benefit of the doubt of the high pitches to the batter. We saw there that is a called ball, and we will find ourselves with a full count 2 away, and the runners will be going.
And the pitch. Whoa, that almost knocked out the first base coach for West Orange on that foul ball. That was sheer.
And Kelly and Young both on their horses there as soon as, excuse me, as soon as Mulligan began his windup, obviously with full count 2 outs, nothing to lose, leaving a little bit early.
Full count 2 away. Pitch. Breaking ball that misses to load the bases. Take a look at this, Alex. The lead run is on base for the Mountaineers.
And who else but Curtis Battle will be stepping up with the bases loaded. Battle, as I mentioned before, has been terrific last season at 7 RBI and 40 tries. We'll be looking to do some damage here with 2 away and the bases juiced.
And if you're interested in Jersey City, Hudson County Interscholastic Athletic Association Baseball, tune in right now to D1 Media First Stream as Kevin Conley's on the broadcast for Ferris and St. Peter's Prep. as the 0-1 pitch is fouled away into the near dugout on 2.
So far, Battle in 2 at-bats has a double and a pop out to the pitcher, looking to get another hit in his 3rd try today. The wind really cutting across now, Ryan. It's getting chillier and chillier.
The 0-2. Foul ball. Actually, no, they're going to say it hit him. It's an RBI plunk for Battle. And West Orange is now within a run.
And that will score Kelly, who is pinch running for Moses. And now Young, who is pinch running for Gargiulo, will advance to 3rd. Jackson to 2nd. And Battle reaches 1st.
And that'll bring up Noah Stannett.
And that'll be an RBI for him as well.
Alex, they just had a discussion, the 2 umpires on the game today. We're just discussing if it actually hit him or not. Verona seems to want to wish that there's a challenge like they have in MLB.
Unfortunately, no instant replay here, Ryan.
I mean, we have footage, but not available on demand quite yet. And well, to those of you watching on demand, that's an ironic statement.
Well, Noah Stennett now stepping in once again at the bases loaded. The senior led the team in triples, home runs, and RBI last season, and he's looking to continue those stat lines this year in his senior campaign, and he has a great opportunity to get some numbers in those categories early with the bases loaded.
So the game is now just within a run.
This has been a nice 2-out rally for the Mountaineers here. As
the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike.
And I mentioned this is a great rally. 2 of the first 3 batters that West Orange had this inning were retired via the strikeout swinging, but since then they've had a double, an error, and a walk, and then most recently Battle was plunked, and that is how we got here, Ryan.
Alex, looks like Verona's about to get working in their bullpen as the count is 1-2 with 2 away.
That's Ryan McLaughlin heading over to the pen. I would imagine he will be the next arm.
Check swing. He went around to end a very climactic 4th inning. West Orange puts it within a run, and a bases loaded strikeout is likely to end the day on the mound for Mulligan. We're going to go to the 5th. The game is within a run. Verona coming to hit up top on the D1 Media Pro page. When one of the top public high school athletic programs in the state of New Jersey uses the #1 live stream in the nation.
Flip to Carson. He went the 90 yards on the kickoff return. He's trying to finish it off with a touchdown, and he does! Javon Carson.
Ball court. Passed on over to Capstraw. Capstraw will dive in past 2 players, and she's able to load up and score. That is the 1,000-point club type of play right there. You can't ask for better than that one.
Pass across. Stick down by Murphy. Send a shot and deflected. They score!
2 now. We're at the 2:30 marker left in the game. Immaculate go quickly, but it has just costed them a good play there to stay on the West Orange side. Diving in quickly is Capstraw, and she herself is leading West Orange to a comeback. 5
on it along the far corner. Tries to send it in towards goal. Has a man! What a pass! What a goal! Emma Mitchell to Gianna Festino. Short shot on goal. On post. West Orange gets the goal, and they win. They take down the #2 ranked Seton Hall Pirates. What a thrilling game!
So a free kick for West Orange. She sends it towards the net.
But we don't score the game, we just call and record it. As the pitch from Bove with nobody on base, swung on and missed, struck him out. Rosu now trying to get on the offensive side of things. Can he? Ooh, and he's able to work himself into a pin position. Can he earn the pin? He's got all 5. That point's easily secured. And he pins him. So the first Rosu with the pinfall victory. A big victory for Rosu.
Top of the 5th. So 3 more innings to go here in West Orange.
1-0 count here in the top of the fifth in the pitch.
Bearing extras, of course.
Oh, 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Verona trying to bring their lead back up, in which they saw up to 3.
Now 1, Ryan.
Now a 1 difference. And the pitch. In there, called strike, 3-1. The 3-1. And the pitch. Drops low, 5-pitch walk for the catcher. Don't take my word on this yet, as now you actually can. They're going to pinch run him.
No surprise there.
And it's time for your Tim Blumpkin timeout. A talk for the Mountaineers. Will this be Moses' final draw? It doesn't look to be so. That does not look like Blumpkin making his way out. Blumpkin currently sitting in a nice, comfortable chair on the bench for the Mountaineers. It looks to be the pitching coach. Verona will also conversate as well.
It's 2 walks and 2 runs for the catcher, Ryan Radigan. As I mentioned before, also a single, so...
Yeah. Radigan batting 1,000. You just gotta love making fun of how that's technically... Actually, that's not technically, that is what it is.
And now, of course, Frey, the pinch runner, who we've seen twice thus far. He's crossed home twice thus far.
Alex, we're getting raindrops again. It just seems to me today that Mother Nature just really wants to let out the rain, but something is blocking it.
She can't make up her mind, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Frey pinch running for Radigan at first.
Alex, some things are a question in life. The weather, always a question.
Always a question as we see Mulligan stepping back into the batter's box.
Mulligan's line defensively may be done. Don't have a confirmation on that. But offensively, he's going to be up to hit in the righty batter's box with the runner on first as they're going to check Radigan's pinch runner. He's in time.
And Frey showed off his speed thus far, as I mentioned, scoring twice. I'm looking to keep him close as Mulligan, who is 0 for 2 on the day, is looking to get his first hit of the game and of the season, Ryan.
The pitch. That's a ball, and the count's 1-0.
So that's a little surprising because this umpire has been pretty generous to the pitchers in terms of calling the low balls in their favor.
The 1-0. Runner will go. A strike and the throw down. Not in time. Slid in safe. Couldn't get the tag in. A nice scoop, but just couldn't get the tag in.
That was close for sure. And the wind really picking up here, Ryan, as the raindrops are becoming more and more prominent. But that doesn't stop baseball, as Mulligan with the 1-1 count, runner at second, looking to put the bat to the ball for the first time today.
And the pitch. Off the foot of Mulligan. He's a little shooken.
That's gotta hurt.
Mulligan a little rocked by that pitch. The 1-2. As we are soon to do. Mulligan a little shook. Getting some hard right now, Alex. It's cold rain.
It is cold rain. It is windy. It is not fun to be outside right now, but we're doing it. We're calling the game. We're making it fun. And at the end of the day, baseball will be played, Ryan.
Gotta get the job done.
Gotta get the job done is right.
The 1-2.
We always get the job always get the job done here at D1 Media Pro.
And the 1-2 pitch. Fouled away.
Well, when I mentioned Mulligan getting bat the ball, that's not exactly what I meant, Ryan, but he got a piece of it. Now he's looking to get the rest of it, as they like to say.
Still waiting on that 1-2 pitch.
Frey at second. Corners vacant.
1-2. 2-2. So the count is 2-2. Fouled away once again. This is an at-bat that Mulligan's got to write down once again. He really burns out the pitchers. And he is a pitcher himself, too.
He is. He knows what it's like to have these pitcher-batter duels. He's been on both sides of them, and clearly he's making every pitch from Moses count, as he is really working this one. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the 2-2 pitch is dealt. That'll miss. Out of the glove. But Frey does not advance. He stays put as the count is full.
I think Gargiulo would have gotten him had Frey made a dash for third, so probably good on the third base coach's part to not have Frey come over.
3-2.
That's our score and our count, Ryan.
The pitch. Chopped right back to the pitcher. He mishandles it, and he's not going to throw it to first. Runners are on the corners. Nobody out here in the top half of the 5th.
That will advance Frey, who I mentioned is pinch running for the catcher Radigan, to third, and now the corners are picked for center fielder Chris Baker, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
1 for 2 on the day.
2 runs batted in, and right now that's a difference maker here, as his Hillbillies are only up 1 run. We had a pretty fast-paced opening 3.5 innings, and now it's slowed down a little bit.
Starting to get intense here. Remember, this score is only separated by 1 run. The third run is at first base. The second run, lead, of course, for Verona, is on third in the pitch. That'll miss for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Well, Alex, that spurt of rain, I'm going to say it's ended, knock on wood, but it's been an interesting day with rain. I guess you can say it's rained this afternoon. I guess you can put it in the books that it did rain, but I guess in spurts.
Now the wind is cutting across from the outfield to the infield.
Pitch in the dirt, but does not get by, and the count's 2-0.
Now 2 runners in scoring position here for Baker, with nobody away here in the away 5th.
And so the 2-0. A reminder that there is a 10-run mercy rule, but I don't think that will be in play today. The 2-0 pitch. Down the line, first base side, and foul.
It was close for sure, Ryan, but clearly to the right of the bag, so foul ball and strike 1 in this count.
Alex, these are 2 teams that played a over 500 schedules, some tough losses, a lot of big wins. I said this would be in terms of last year's standards, very close game, and that's what it's living up to in this year's standards. So we could see another little Verona West Orange race for maybe first or second place. We'll see if Caldwell can run away with it. They have the talent to do so. As we spoke to Coach Lumpkin, he said he's very worried about Caldwell.
Yeah, well, Caldwell finishing first last season, a lot of people expected them to move up a division. They did not do so, and now they are expected to be the #1 team. Check swing did go around, and that would be strike 2, but yeah, Caldwell obviously a force to be reckoned with. But West Orange and Verona finishing 2 and 3 in that order behind Caldwell in the Liberty Division last season. So these 2 teams very close in the standings last year, and they are both looking to capture that #1 spot in the SEC Liberty Division, Ryan.
The pitch. Grounded into the hole for a base hit. 1 run scores. The second run will not follow.
That's a 3rd RBI in the day for Chris Baker. They just seem to keep on coming for him. So now, once again, the corners are picked. Time is called. Verona will extend the lead now back up to 2 runs. That was Chris Baker, as I mentioned, with the RBI single, driving in That was Frey who he drove in, pinch running for, Radigan.
So here's Mackey in the pitch. This one is hammered to center field and caught. And the runner will tag, and he is in time as the throw is cut off.
Mackey with a nice piece.
But guess what, Alex? Verona has that 3-run lead back.
That's also the second RBI of the game for Ben Mackey.
And this brings up Logan Cologne.
Logan Cologne reminds me of one of my personal favorite MLB players, Bartolo Colon.
A lot skinnier. The pitch. Waves inside, 1-0.
There certainly is not much of a resemblance, but Bartolo Colon always so fun to watch on the mound. And very occasionally in the batter's box, between hitting home runs, and which happened once, and his helmet flying off of his head, which happened more than once.
The 1-0, popped foul. Alex, I wasn't expecting to get a lucky fan ball today, but I don't believe it's going to happen. So we've only seen one close to us in our preseason broadcast. We almost caught 2.
Well, Cologne 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout swinging and a ground out to the second baseman, Colin Knight. But he's looking to get his first hit of the season and extend this rally that Verona has put together. 2 runs across so far in the 5th and not yet an out recorded. Moses struggling a little bit. He's looking to get himself back into it, as he is still the man that the Mountaineers want on the bump, but you have to wonder how much more that he can take and how much they're going to let him take.
Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled away. 1-2. So the 1-2 on Logan Cologne. And obviously Verona, a decent showing today.
Decent's an understatement. 5 runs through...
Well, I was referring to the fans, but yes, of course. 5 runs, very impressive.
A little misunderstanding there, but yes, even for an away squad a couple towns over, the parents did make their way out to support their sons on this opening day of the 2022 varsity baseball season in the Liberty Division.
It's an interesting route to get here. There's multiple different ways you can go. I mean, realistically, from my area, I live on the border of Morris County, near the East Hanover area. You would probably want to cut through Morris County, go up through Caldwell, and then get to Verona. Of course, I'm sure Verona just took the easy Essex County route. Maybe took 280. A lot of different characters, different ways you can get places in New Jersey. It's the Garden State. There's a ball cut and missed. And Cologne goes down on the break.
Second strikeout for him. Second swinging as well. Ryan, you mentioned the different ways you could drive to get from Verona to West Orange, and I think we could call you Ryan Ways Lowry.
Oh, Ways.
That's another one.
That's quite generous. So here's Colin Knight, yeah.
Keep it up. We might promote you to Google Maps, but for now you can be Ways.
Colin Knight is up with 2 outs. Here in the slow top half of the 5th inning. And again, Alex, we were zooming the first 3.
We were, and now this rally has really slowed things down as we see Chris Baker at first getting back after the pickoff attempt by Moses.
The pitch, that's high, and the count's 1-0.
And of course, we see Mikey Cassell's playing over at first for the Mountaineers. He is ready for the pickoff attempts. And he's been doing really well at getting that ball down and into the face of the runner. Nothing successful yet, but you can only imagine it'll come with time.
Runner goes. The throw, not in time and not scooped up. Ball called as well.
So now 3 RBI and now a stolen base as well for Chris Baker. So quite the stat line for him on this opening day afternoon.
As you can tell, the players really just trying to keep themselves warm. You can see the outfielders with their non-glove hands in their pockets. Their throwing hands are just trying to keep them warm. You don't want to throw with a numb baseball in your hand when every run counts in a game like this. It's only a 3-run separation. In high school, that's much closer than the MLB. The pitch. There's a strike.
Well, you mentioned hands in pockets, Ryan. I have to admit I am doing the same thing, because it's very chilly, especially when you got to throw the ball 200 feet. You can't have the tips of your fingers being numb, because that'll really mess up your throw.
Squib to second, and the throw to first. We'll retire the top half of the fifth. So we're going to go to the bottom half. Verona have retaken that 3-run lead. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's twice. D1 Media Pro, NFHS Network.
Heads up, Jack. On the stand. Took him and decreasing.
Ethan Horton. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
Conversation with them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
It's cold.
Who's leading off, Cassell?
Yeah. Mikey.
Welcome back, Mikey Cassels. Will lead off for the Mountaineers in the first pitch. In there called strike, and the count's 0-1.
Mulligan staying in the game after 2 runs given up in that last inning, but he's looked good throughout this game, regardless of what the scoreboard says.
The 0-1, grounded to the shortstop, and he makes a nice gloved play as the throw to first is scooped on up. That's a 6-3 in the scorebook.
That's a very nice scoop right there by the first baseman, Ben Mackey. You know, a couple more scoops like that, and you might have yourselves an ice cream sundae, Ryan.
Yeah, indeed so. Trying to think of good ice cream places. You got Mark and Julie's out here, Carvel. West Orange has it all. We might need to stop there after this. This one is hammered to center field, and this time the center fielder will make the play. A nice read on the ball. A little stop in the heavy wind we've seen today to retire the second out of the inning. West Orange getting going on these first pitches. And you know what? They're really prolonging the continuation of the appearance on the mound today for Mulligan.
Yeah, Mulligan has seen Stewart, who is our batter now, twice. He's struck him out twice, once swinging, once looking, and I'm curious to see how Stewart approaches the plate.
He's getting a little antsy today as he takes a pitch in the dirt for a ball, as you were saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you see a pitcher twice, you strike out twice, you got to imagine you got to switch up the approach for the third time. Maybe he's choking up a little bit more, maybe he's starting to swing a little earlier, maybe choosing his swings better as to in reference to which pitches he is swinging at, as so far he sees 2 balls and a strike. But it's got to be frustrating, without a doubt, for the right fielder, Amir Stewart.
And the pitch. There's a strike.
We mentioned the pace of play had slowed down. It's picking back up.
And that's in there for strike 2.
2 strikes and 2 out now, and Mulligan has the chance to get through this inning 1, 2, 3 in about 10 pitches.
And the pitch. Cut on and miss. That breaking ball has got him chasing. 1, 2, 3 goes West Orange. We're seeing Mulligan just continue to pitch here in West Orange. So we're going to go to the 6th. Alex, that was our quickest inning today of what started off as a very quick baseball game.
Oh, without a doubt, that was a great frame from Mulligan. 3 up, 3 down, ground out, fly out, strike out, 3 ways to retire a batter. And I mean, the defense was good. It was quick. Catching, courtesy of Radigan, was phenomenal. And in the end, they got the result they wanted, and they maintained their 3-run lead heading into the second to last frame.
So what are we looking at? Due up for Verona here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Santorelli will be leading off. That's our right fielder. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He will be followed by third baseman Matt Vaccaro, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And the man with the most obscure stat line that I've ever seen, Dan Kozichuk, he is 0 for 2 with a run scored. So, and that 0 for 2, by the way, does not include any walks. He struck out, reached on a drop third strike, and then flew out to the right fielder in his second at bat. He will be up third in this Verona due-up, as now we see a pitching change.
It's Jackson Ward checking in for West Orange. He's the new pitcher for them.
Jackson Ward stepping in. So let's take a look at the final line of Riley Moses. He pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 runs. So not horrible, but definitely room for improvement for Riley Moses, as now we will see Jackson Ward, the senior, stepping onto the bump for these Mountaineers.
And we also have a new right fielder in for West Orange, and that is Amir Stewart.
He's been in, Ryan?
Yeah, he's been in for a while now.
Yes.
My apologies, he's actually been in the whole game. Amir Stewart in right field is now playing first base for West Orange. That's what I was thinking. Now playing first base for West Orange is Riley Moses. Knew it was something on the right side of the field.
Well, a little bit off that first time, but as always, Ryan, you did redeem yourself, so no harm, no foul there, as now we have a meeting around Ward, as we have papers flying all over the place.
Well, it's kind of what you expect from a change like this, as we will get the top of the 6th started in the ensuing moments. Once again, I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. On camera today, here in these frigid and interesting temperatures changing here in West Orange, is Jalen Kelly.
Well, interesting is certainly one of the many words you could use to describe how we are perceiving this weather. You mentioned Ward now on the bump, and the pitcher who was Moses is now at first base.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
This wind just keeps on persisting, Ryan. Does not want to go away.
And the next pitch, once again, in there for a strike to Julian Santorelli. So it's 0-2 to Santorelli here in the top half of the 6th. And the pitch misses the zone, and the count's 1-2.
Very, very cold here, Ryan.
So the 1-2. And the pitch grounded to short. And the throw to first is in time. It's a 6-3. And going down to start off the top half of the 6th is Julian Santorelli. That puts one away, and that'll bring up Matt Vaccaro, the third baseman. He's due up, but it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for him. As here's the pitch. Scooped on up, 1-0. The 1-0. And the pitch. Once again in the dirt, 2-0. Again, Alex, if West Orange doesn't start scoring, they have potentially only 5 more outs to spare before that 6th out calls it quits. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away here in the top half of the 6th. Once again, a new pitcher for the West Orange Mountaineers. That's Jackson Ward. And the pitch. In there, called strike. First strike of the at-bat. And the count is 2-1. With 1 away. And the 2-1 pitch. scooped on up. 3-1. It's the 3-1 count. One away here in the top half of the sixth. And that'll be ball 4. So a runner on now for the Hillbillies.
That's Liam Frey, who had been pinch running for the catcher Radigan, and now he will be running for himself as he draws a walk there.
Another big spurt of wind, Alex. They're only getting bigger as the evening continues. As the pitch in there for a strike.
Oh, Ryan, I could imagine if you're Ward, it's getting more and more difficult to go to pitch, excuse me, as it gets chillier and as the wind continues to pick up. And now we see
runner goes, the throw down to second in time, but he could not hold on to the baseball. Oh, they're gonna call that a strike. The scoop was just too salty. Bittersweet.
Bittersweet is right, and as I was saying, Dan Kozacuk at the plate, down 0-2, but he's looking to turn this town around, as I mentioned before.
And now it's the West Orange bullpen active as they will now trot on back.
As I mentioned before, 0-2, but a run scored for Kozacuk, looking to get his first hit of the season.
And here's the 0-2 pitch. Ward deals. Popped up. Bove makes the play. Two away, and the top of the order now coming up for the Hillbillies. This will be Ryan Radigan as he steps into the lefty box with 2 away.
Your Coach Blumpkin calling out to his pitcher, Ward.
First pitch fouled away.
Excuse the wind there.
The 0-1. Fouled away 0-2.
You're out again working with 2 walks and a single in 3 at-bats, hitting 1,000 on the season. Not to jinx that for him, but so far so good for Radigan when he's in the batter's box.
So the 0-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. That'll do the top half of the 6th. Verona, a 5-2 lead. West Orange have 6 outs left. They need to score 4 to take a lead, 3 to ties. D1 Media Pro page, NFHS Network.
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown.
Right down the middle, man. Just got, and he keep going, and he
the ball's loose.
And they hop back on it, and that's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounds at the 35, fielded at the 40 by Quick, out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Cuts back, he's in for a touchdown!
Swing pass in the flat.
If he gets to the corner, he's going to get in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Good job, block.
3rd down and 17, a handoff, getting to the outside. There's a hole, there's a first down, and all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliams to the house for a touchdown and for an IMEC for a division championship.
Well, bottom half of the 6th, and Alex, this is that type of weather where if you catch the baseball, your thumb, well, if you catch the baseball in the wrong way, your thumb will probably end up broken. It's that type of weather right now. Very chilly.
We see a pitching change now. Julian Santorelli will be stepping in, and in addition to that, Liam Frey will be stepping in right field. That Mulligan with a terrific outing. 5 innings pitch, only 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, a pair of walks, and 2 runs. So a phenomenal outing for Sean Mulligan in his season debut, and I'll be expecting a lot more of that from him for the rest of his senior campaign, Ryan.
So as you said, Alex, a new pitcher in for the Verona Hillbillies. As here comes West Orange. Who's their duo?
For West Orange, to start off the 6th, we'll have the third baseman Logan Cologne, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, followed by the pitcher turned first baseman Riley Moses, who is 1 for 2, and then catcher Chance Gargiulo, who is 0 for 2, reached on an error. Moses, in the 4th inning, recorded a RBI double, which ended up getting him around the base path as well, Ryan.
First pitch by Cohen, fouled away. The next pitch is grounded to third, bobbled, and the throw across the diamond, not in time. It's an ease 5, and West Orange will try and get this show on the road a little late. Still have yet to take a lead this season. Good hustling. That's why you hustle down the base paths.
That is why you hustle. That was a tough play for the third baseman Cologne, but nonetheless, West Orange has a runner on first with nobody out, down 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Now we see a bit of a change here. Santorelli is southpaw, Mulligan a righty, as first baseman Riley Moses steps into the box.
So Moses will foul the first pitch away, 0-1.
Gonna have an exciting finish here, Ryan, as an inning and a half to play. 3-run ball game, but both teams have shown that they can score in sports, and West Orange is looking to do just that with a runner on and nobody out here in the home 6th.
0-1 pitch. Check the runner before a pitch comes in. And Alex, well, it's baseball season, but it's also lacrosse season here in the state of New Jersey. And well, Alex, a lot of good lacrosse programs. We're specifically looking at Union County, Governor Livingston strong, as usual. Scotch Plains Fanwood strong, as usual. And there's those 2 dominant teams in Summit and Westfield battling it out. Both have a very good chance of winning the final tournament of champions in New Jersey's lacrosse history, as that pitches the ball 1-1.
Yeah, both programs phenomenal, looking to win, as you mentioned, the final tournament of champions. It'll be very special to capture that championship, especially considering it will be the last.
Yeah,
that's
again,
lacrosse, but here we were playing baseball, and a 1-2 count for Moses, as he's looking to avoid being the first victim of Julian Santorelli.
And Alex, what do you think about them shutting down the Tournament of Champions? Obviously, there's not one unified state champion anymore. There will now be multiple, but like, what do you really think of that decision? Do you think it's going to hurt the state of New Jersey athletics, or do you think it's going to help?
It's funny that you asked that, because
breaking ball, and he goes down on strikes, as you were saying.
It's funny that you asked, because excuse me, Moses, I'm looking. It's funny that you say that, because now there's a little less unification, but at the end of the day, obviously it's important to win, but high school sports, it's an important segue to those who want to play at college and at the next level. So in a way, it doesn't take away from the ability to play.
Hold on, Alex. This one has popped up, and it will be caught in center field for the second out. As you were saying about the unification. 2 away. Runner on
It takes away from the unification, but at the same time, it does not take away from a student athlete's ability to play, to perform, to be able to show their talent in a way that could get them recruited for college if that's what they so desire. So obviously, it's unfortunate that it will no longer be in effect, but at the end of the day, we're here to play sports and to watch sports and to enjoy our high school years, Ryan.
And again, yeah, this actually extends 5 days in the schedule, which means 1 to 2 more games on the schedule for lacrosse for every team in the state of New Jersey. This way, not only the nation's group winners benefit, is they're going to check the runner at first, and ooh, a bobbled catch, probably because of the cold weather, just ended a possible pickoff maneuver.
Well, you mentioned the cold, as this wind is really starting to pick up, and I personally am cold, and I can imagine that these guys on the field, especially that they're lower on the turf, are feeling it as well. They're wearing gloves, they're trying to keep warm,
Runner goes. Bunt shown, pulled back, the throw down to second. Nobody there. Nobody there, as it'll be a ball 1-0.
Cohen showing off his speed. Nobody even there to receive the throw, as you mentioned, from the catcher. Excuse me, from the catcher Radigan. So now at the runner in scoring position and 2 away.
And the pitch. Check swing, no go. Count is 1-1, our apologies. The first pitch was in fact a strike. So that 1-1 pitch dealt, fouled away 1-2. After this one, just a full inning left to play. We're just an out away from ending the 6th here in West Orange.
And we do have a pinch hitter here, Ryan. This will, excuse me, we do not. I was kidding, April Fools. It is Jason Jackson.
1-2. Just got a piece of it, grounded to third, handled properly, the throw across the diamond, nowhere near in time. Runner's going home, the throw home, it passes. This is going to be 2 errors in 1 play, and an RBI as well, Alex.
Ryan, I have my scorebook here. I have no idea how I'm going to score that.
Well, I'll tell you how. Give a run to West Orange, put an error on the board from the third baseman who mishandled, and then the first baseman an error for a poor throw down to home plate, which advanced the runner to second base.
And now we have ourselves a 2-run ball game.
And the tying run on deck as well.
See, Cologne with 2 outs could have easily just tagged the runner.
He could have. That's what I was just thinking too.
Cohen. Yeah, I mean,
at this level, you might want to consider it. Second division baseball in the Super Essex Conference. I mean, this isn't the MLB. Throwing across the diamond ain't an easy feat.
Correct, especially if the runner is coming at you. And we saw that the catcher Radigan was vocal about that towards Cologne after the play had transpired.
Pitch upstairs, 1-1.
2-run ball game now, so it's getting tighter. 2-out rally starting to blossom here for the Mountaineers.
And the 1-1 with 2 away. And the pitch. Grounded once again to third. Calling off the shortstop, making the throw across the diamond. Can't tag home. They're going to send the runner to the third. To home. And the throw is not in time to get him. West Orange scores 2 runs off of ground balls to third base. Verona gullible on that far side of the diamond.
See, you have to wonder, if you're the third baseman Cologne, at what point do you decide not to throw that ball, Ryan? Because that's not twice that the throw has resulted in the runner advancing from third to home and scoring. So, in a way, I think it would benefit these Hillbillies to not throw the ball and rather just to hold it and let the corners be picked rather than sacrificing that run, which has ended up costing them. They've given up 2 this inning. 2-out rally now for the Mountaineers as they trail now only by 1 as we are near the conclusion of the home 6th. Remember, only 7 innings here in high school baseball, so we are near the end in what is shaping up to be a very exciting finish.
Alex, that's what you want to do. That went foul, but you want to hit towards that third base line. That's where the struggles have really been this inning for Verona, 1-1.
Anything in play right now, Ryan, is good for the Mountaineers, as we see this defense of the Hillbillies has been struggling as of this inning, so they're looking to put the ball in play and capitalize on the mistakes of their opponent.
Pitch misses, 2-1. A 1-run split, the pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. Alex, West Orange plays their cards right. This next half inning could be the last. This is the lead run at the plate for them.
They'll go ahead. Oh, pickoff attempt.
Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Alex, that was close too.
It was close, especially with Santorelli, who is a lefty. His chest is facing towards first base. He got a quick little pickoff move and step off and throw without really telegraphing it to the runner.
The 3-1, they're going to check him once again, and he's safe in time. The 3-1.
That's Curtis Battle, who is at first getting back successfully twice. and he has to keep his eyes peeled for that quick pickoff maneuver by Santorelli, or else he could be the third out here.
Popped up. Far side of the diamond. This is going to be a confusing one as it will be caught near the pitcher's mound by the shortstop. Sean Mulligan makes the play to end the inning. We're going to go to the top half of the seventh. Verona going to try and make that lead just a little bigger and defend it in the bottom half. Stay tuned for the seventh inning, right? The D1 the NFH's Network.
Heads up back on the two. Took him and depleting.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Go into the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
New pitcher, Matt Bove for West Orange. Bove, a storied two-sport athlete for the Mountaineers. Star on the football field. During the fall, his alter ego comes in over the spring and plays baseball.
Well, he was flashing the leather earlier at short, and now he will come in relief here to finish out the seventh inning, and hopefully for the Mountaineers' sake is the last time, not necessarily actually, I want to retract my words there. Hopefully for the Mountaineers, Bove is able to hold them scoreless and they are able to put some runs on the board to win this game in the bottom of the final inning. But Bove so far looking good in his warm-up pitches, and we will see Sean Mulligan, who was pitching and is now leading off.
So it's the 2-3-4 side of the order for Verona.
It's Mulligan, Baker, and Mackey. The three of them have done their fair share of damage at the plate today, specifically Baker with 3 RBI in his first 3 plate appearances. The wind dying down a little bit and the rain has stopped, but still very chilly here in West Orange.
Yeah, you know, we're getting that evening chills. It's a little too late to be happy about the nice weather as well. Alex, I guess you just jinxed it because here comes the wind again.
Oh, well, April Fools.
That's a good point, and a good one too. Traffic's starting to pick up rush hour here in Essex County. Not just in Essex County, all across the country.
Oh, yeah.
But anybody who follows the Eastern time zone, it is rush hour.
It's a cold one, and I'm sure these guys are going to be very happy to be able to go home and be in their nice heated houses and able to...
Well, not for the pitchers, and specifically not for Riley Moses. He's got to ice the arm. A lot of pitches today from him.
Yes, a lot of pitches indeed, but it's going to feel good to get back in a place where he can actually feel the tips of his fingers.
And we're going to get going with the 7th inning as Bove deals a strike.
See, this would be a great moment right now for hand warmers.
It would be.
Unfortunately, you cannot pitch with a hand warmer in your hand, and if you could, that would be very impressive.
You know, they're going to mark this game down in the books since the weather's so weird. April 1st on the Alpine slopes, 1-1. It's just that chilly.
Well, maybe, Ryan, this is an April Fool's Day prank from Mother Nature.
The 1-1. Oh, I think they've pranked us in every way so far with the nature, as Mulligan takes the ball upstairs and it's 2-1. So the 2-1. Verona trying to extend that lead. The pitch. In there, called strike. It's 2-2.
And we see once again this home plate umpire giving the pitcher those lower strikes in contrast to the higher strikes or higher balls rather, going in favor of the batter.
Bove deals. Breaking ball. That'll be fouled to our side and out of play.
And we see a nice little display of athleticism from right fielder Amir Stewart, who did a little bit of a jump kick off the bullpen fence in an effort to try and catch that ball that was well out of reach.
Eli Cohen stands at shortstop in replacement for Bove, now on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes to pitch. Cut on and missed. Struck him out.
Second time today that Sean Mulligan has gone down on strikes.
So Bove records his first strikeout on the mound.
Now, for Verona, we will see the next man up, Chris Baker, center fielder.
Center fielder. We'll ground 1 to third, and there's a nice scoop and throw across the diamond. 1 pitch and 2 away here in the top half of the 7th inning.
This is exactly what West Orange needs, is a quick 7th and a quick turnaround for them to look to win this game in the bottom of the 7th.
So Baker goes down. Mackey up. 2 outs in the first pitch. Scooped in the dirt. 1-0.
Mackey with a sac fly and a single today, also reached on a fielder's choice, and on his first time on the base path today, way back in the first inning, he did swipe second.
Bovey getting a little dancy. 2-0.
Well, you got to expect a nice clean strike here from Bove, because West Orange is at a point right now in this game where they cannot afford to give anything up. It's a 1-run game, and they're gonna try and put together their best effort to win this. As I mentioned, there is a strike, 2-1 now, but they need every last pitch, every last call that they can get at this point of the game, because every single ball matters, Ryan.
The 2-1 with 2 away. And the pitch. Fouled away.
Mackey,
Again, last chance West Orange next inning, Alex.
Yes, and Mackey with the potential to be the last batter for these Verona Hillbillies, whether that be in their benefit or to their demise.
We'll have to see. That's story to be written in the bottom half of the inning. And the 2-2. Chased the high ball and struck him out. So we're going to go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's Last Chance Mountaineers. Stay tuned on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
The North Jersey Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute is the preferred practice for diagnosis and orthopedic treatment in New Jersey. Our focus includes sports injuries, as well as the treatment of a broad range of orthopedic complaints, from common tendon ailments and arthritic joint pain to traumatic injuries. Our facility offers an on-site physical therapy suite, in conjunction with specifically designed exercise programs, non-invasive and advanced healing technology. Specialist Dr. Michael Rosanella utilizes non-surgical and minimally invasive surgical procedures to help patients regain back their quality of life.
Bottom half of the 7th inning. Santorelli back on the mound for another inning. It's Last Chance Mountaineers. No matter what the score is, Mother Nature will be what's remembered this evening.
I think regardless of who finishes with what score, whether it be Verona or West Orange on top, I think the win today really goes to weather, Ryan.
Indeed it does. West Orange trying to continue to just pump runs onto the board. They had an interesting last inning playing with the third baseman.
With 2 in their last inning. Both came as a result of a cross diamond throw that resulted in the runner who was running to third, rounding third, and going home, as we are now preparing for the potentially last half inning. Unless Coach Plumpkin's squad can put together a rally in which they score at least a run, which will tie it. 2 wins this game for the Mountaineers.
First pitch grounded to third, and it's just foul. Oh, that was close.
It was very close. I mean, West Orange has been playing with this left field line all game long, Ryan. Just this one time, it decides to play back, and we have an 0-1 count.
So the 0-1 count to Cassell's, and the pitch. Upstairs, 1-1.
Cassell's is the 3-hitter for these Mountaineers. He will be followed by Bove, who just pitched the gem, and Amir Stewart, the right fielder. Also a wide receiver for these dominant West Orange Mountaineers.
The 2-1. Just upstairs, 3-1. So the 3-1.
Huge pitch here for Santorelli.
And the pitch. Round to third. And it sneaks right through both the third baseman and shortstop for a leadoff single. They'll keep him at first. Good read in the outfield, but that's how West Orange begins their last campaign.
Now with 1 on and nobody out, let's see what shortstop turn pitcher Matt Bove can bring for the Mountaineers in their last-ditch effort to keep this game alive.
And so the tying run is on first. Bovey representing the winning run. And the pitch. He's going to scrape that one, and it's caught by the shortstop. The throw back to first is not in time, but oh, Bovey, a key hitter in this lineup with key contact that's caught in the prime position of shortstop, 33-33.
That was really close as we saw the athleticism there from Sean Mulligan, but I thought that was getting over. We saw the hops there on the shortstop Mulligan.
They're going to check the runner at first. Alex, that catch was a momentum turner.
Oh, for sure. Now, just like that, there's one away. And if you're on the West Orange bench, that's got to be painful to watch, as you think that line drive hard off the bat is going to be a base hit, maybe advance under the third. But, you know, in reality, you now have 1 out and 1 less chance to tie up this ball game.
Stewart, down in the count 0-1.
Stewart today, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. The first was looking, next 2 were swinging. All 3 are at the hands of Sean Mulligan.
And the pitch. Runner goes. The throw down to second. Not in time. In favor of West Orange. Runner on second base now.
And now the tying run in scoring position, the game-winning run at the plate. Down in the count, 0-1. This is shaping up to be a very exciting finish, Ryan, regardless of the outcome.
We're waiting to see if that was called a ball or strike. We're not getting a confirmation on it yet. Doesn't look like they know here either. And yep, it's a ball. So the count's 1-1 as the rain starts to pick up in the pitch. Fouled away. 1-2. Runner on second base here. Verona just holding on, a 5-4 lead. And the pitch. In the dirt, 2-2.
You could not write it up any better than this, Ryan. It's coming down to the wire. Verona is holding on by a thread. West Orange is giving it all they've got to tie and win this ball game. And these two teams, which we mentioned before, are very even in skill, are showing it today on the diamond.
The 2-2. Fouled away.
You feel a little bit of a drizzle coming down once again. Hopefully that's just all. Yeah. Hopefully that's only what it is, little, but
2-2 with out. Runner on second base. And the pitch. That just misses. Verona very surprised.
Yeah, you can hear the parents giving it to the ump. I personally, they may have a little bit outside. But in a moment like this, regardless of what the call is, neither team is going to be one of the two teams is going to be happy, the other upset.
The pitch popped up. That's in play. The second baseman is under it. Calls everyone off and makes the play for the second out. And just like that, it's one more out for the Mountaineers.
That's Colin Knight getting that high pop-up. And just like that, the Mountaineers are down to their final out.
So, looks like, Alex, we're going to leave it up to Eli Cohen. Sink or swim for the Mountaineers now.
Ryan, I don't need to correct you, but I believe
it's number 2.
Excuse me. It is Eli Cohen.
Thank you, Alex, and the pitch. And that's a strike, 0-1.
Never doubt Ryan Lowy.
Well, I mean, I'm human. I'm not perfect. But I do know that is Eli Cohen, the 0-1.
Eli Cohen struck out twice today. He's looking to score the tying, potentially winning run here.
Pitch. Popped up like he hit a golf ball. 3 there for Verona. And in the end, 1 makes the play. It's the center fielder. That will do it. Verona sneaks with a victory. Wow, what a ball game.
What a catch by Baker to finish this one off. And what a game, Ryan. Came down to the wire. Exciting for both teams. And I'm really excited to see what the Hillbillies and the Mountaineers have in store for this upcoming varsity season, Ryan.
Well, Alex, a game that came down to the wire. Errors, hits, runs, Mother Nature, you name it. That will do it in a 9-run affair. Verona, the Hillbillies pull away with a 5-4 win. I'm Ryan Lowy. He's Alex Weiss. And on camera, he's Jalen Kelly. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Toodaloo.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it from Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay, touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Frazier wins it. The championship.
He's